Good appropriate time of the day to you, friends and enemies. I am Richard, and this whole thing, is LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels. And how are you doing today? I am doing better than I was earlier. I'm more awake now, and I'm more ready to talk than I was in my earlier stream of the Cyberpunk game that I was playing in. Just wasn't very awake because today in the UK and most of Europe is the day that the clocks went forward. So I had less sleep than I expected, and of course I had to be up at like 2 a.m. in order to be playing in the game as well. So hey, so there we go. And I'm an hour earlier than I usually am on the stream now, and it's an hour earlier because of that. So I'm actually 2 hours earlier than I would be streaming usually. So there we go. Isn't that fun? But you're not here to listen to times and appropriate time zones and stuff. What you're here to look at is, where is that graphic from? Where is the thing from? It's from Venture Brothers. I don't know which episode or anything it is from, but yeah, Venture Brothers. You've never seen the Venture Brothers? Ah, well, it's a fun enough series dealing with loss and failure and not not living up to your expectations of what it should be, but not living up to not being what your parents want you to be. It's very different, and it's very slow to come out. And in fact, I believe it's been cancelled, and then there's going to be a movie rather than a new series. And I'm not entirely certain what it comes with, but yeah, it's fun enough. Although I didn't watch it until very late in its life either. But it's fun, and you can still enjoy it now. I don't think there's any. I'm sure there are things in it that are dated, but it's good. Still, that's not what we're here for. We're not here for those henchmen. We're here for these henchmen. Although they're not henchmen. They're the villains. Oh no, you're a henchman here in the middle. That's Kate. Yes, her name is Kate, and she's still wearing her tag. But that's not where we were. We were on issue 5. We were just about to go into. We were just about to go into and do the job for this app. However it is, whatever it is, trying to work out what it is with their new Hench app, Henchcan. I was going to say only cans, but that doesn't make any sense whatsoever because it's the hench part that is interesting, not the can part that relates to it. So hey, here we are as we're about to set out, and we're ditching game night for this. Oh. So I walk through the halls, going against the grain of the usual game night traffic. A short while later, step out into the hallway, bag in tow. While the halls aren't jam-packed, there are definitely more people than normal, all headed off to take part in one game or another. The main hall will have the most people playing on cheap card tables surrounded by a sea of plastic folding chairs. Do we hold any tournaments or contests? That's also where Lord Bed is usually found. I already hear a cheer from that direction, as if to remind me of all the fun I won't be having tonight. That's okay. If you make enough money, you can just buy fun whenever you want, right? Further I walk, fewer people I see. There's little in this direction beside the main entrance. So all I expect to find are a few unlucky souls that drew guard duty tonight. Like that woman up ahead. Already slacking off by the look of it, just waiting against the wall, like just leaning against the wall. Like she's waiting for someone. Wait.
Kate? What are you doing here?
Oh.
What's it look like? Waiting for you.
Sorry,
I saw
you've
you
got voice acting to do.
And what do you know? My schedule's suddenly free.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Honestly.
Hey.
I told you not to sweat it.
You've got a very downturned face there, or mouth, for somebody who was not upset by this.
Besides, you were upfront about it. Can't ask for more than that.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Your opinion has changed. Uh,
I can still feel that, though.
If that's your prerogative. But
wow. Well, that was a thing, eh? Let's reload that, eh? And perhaps not zoom through all of the dialogue there. Yes! Who knows what was going on there? I walked through the hall was going against the grain of the usual game night traffic. A short while later I step into a hall, bag in tow, while the halls aren't jam-packed. There are definitely more people than normal, all heading off to take part in one game or another. The main hall will have the most people, playing on cheap card tables surrounded by a sea of plastic folding chairs. It's where we hold any tournaments or contests. It's also where Lord Bedlam's usually found. Hear a cheer from that direction, as if to remind me of all the fun I won't be having tonight. Well, that's okay. If you make enough money, you can just buy fun whenever you want, right? Yeah? Further I walk, the fewer people I see, so there's little in this direction besides the main entrance. So all I expect to find are the few unlucky souls who drew guard duty tonight. Like that woman up ahead. Already slacking off by the look of it. Just leaning against the wall like she's waiting for someone. Wait.
Kate? What are you doing here?
I promise not to cut you off by talking this time, Kate. Will you make the game function properly, please?
what's it look like? Waiting for you. I saw you took that gig, and what do you know? My schedule's suddenly free.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Honestly.
I told you not to sweat it. Besides, you were upfront about it. Can't ask for more than that.
Ah, no. Wait. Now you're smiling. Well, no, I said that was honesty. But your opinion of me changed again.
I can still feel that, though.
If that's your prerogative. But really, it's no big deal. You still rank below the kid that ditched me at my freshman semi-formal on the list of guys who left me hanging.
I got no idea what that is. You used words, but they were American words. They were super effective at confusing me.
What did you do to him?
Let's just say that was when I took apart my first engine. Now, come on. We can't be late for dust-off.
Kate starts walking down the hall, and I'm quick to follow. After I've caught up, I match her pace and shoot her a quizzical glance.
How'd you beat me here anyway? It's a long walk from the living quarters.
I was in the area.
Doing what?
Alright, I was lost, okay? I've been looking for the game room for a half hour when you texted, so I figured I may as well stay put.
So did you know where you were then? But I thought you were lost. Something's not adding up about you, Kate. Possibly.
Alright.
She didn't look like someone who had been lost, but I didn't press any further. I don't press any further. Mixed tenses there, game.
So, find out any more details about this gig?
Not really, but I expect the Queen Bee herself to be part of it. This smells like one of hers.
The Queen Bee? Well, that's a villain that I haven't met yet. You'll have to introduce me.
You mean Scorpion? Does she tag along on a lot of these things?
No, just occasionally, but there's a pattern to it. It's usually... well, it's hard to explain. Just a hunch, I guess.
I scratch my chin as I ponder her explanation. Or rather, the lack thereof. Just a hunch, huh? However, before I can ask what she meant by that... oh my god, I find myself interrupted. Yeah, and not reading words good. And I don't like that you're doing hunches, man. Don't play the hunches. This is Henchman, not Hunchman.
Hold it right there, you two. Let's see some ID. Chop chop.
Well, that sounds particularly not like they were in a voice acting studio. Stop and look up to find a familiar scowl peering at me from behind the window of a security checkpoint. James, the gate supervisor. Must have been lost in thought. Looks like we reached the main entrance already. Looks like he was a Kickstarter backer.
Oh, hey, James. We were just headed out for a bit. Mind opening the gate for us?
Oh, just like that, huh? I'm just supposed to open the gate for you and you waltz on through?
Is that not how gates work? Should we do a different kind of dance when we go through or something?
The type of dance isn't the point. gate is under my jurisdiction. I determine who gets in and who gets out. You could say I control the lifeline for the whole fortress.
I mean, no. I mean, yes, you just did say that, but I would not say that.
You could say that, except you're not actually allowed to stop anyone who works for Lord Bedlam from coming or going, remember? We've been over this, dude. Complaints were filed, HR got involved.
No.
Just open the gate, man. Don't make a whole thing out
Not
of it.
HR. Even villains cower. Well, no, villains would not cower from HR, because they work to protect the company, not the employees. Grumbling the entire way, James trudges over to the gate controls and pulls the lever, letting the gates open with a groan. I mean, couldn't we have pulled the lever?
Alright, you're clear to proceed. But mark my words, Stan. One day, you'll need to get through and I'll be allowed to stop you. One day, it will be the gate supervisor's time to shine. One day!
You're taking lessons from Lord Bedlam's speeches, because, you know, you've got a way to go, but you're getting there.
That day's never going to come, is it?
Oh, absolutely not.
With our path clear, we make our way through the open gate and enter the natural caverns beyond. The words, "One day," echoing off the walls, even as the gate closes in our wake. I guess because we saw no, not Stan. Whatever the name of our supervisor is, whose name I can't remember. I guess the game must have been scrolling backwards rather than forwards when we had our weird text thing. Anyway, after another hike through a series of tunnels, we finally emerge into the wilderness, and we're greeted with painfully bright light of the late afternoon sun. Really? I thought it was Friday night was game night, but it's afternoon sun. Okay. Glad we got off work early today. Hate coming out here at night. The return trip is gonna suck. I can feel the poison ivy in my uniform already.
This way. I know the spot they're using.
It's not long before we reach our destination, a small clearing with a large mossy stump in the middle of a small babbling creek, just before the far tree line. No one else appears to be here, so I saunter up to the stump and take a seat. I check my phone. A full minute ahead of schedule. Nothing to worry about. So why does Kate look so tense?
Don't worry, James won't lock us out. He talks a big game, but that's all it is.
Not worried about James.
No, it's not that.
I frown, confused. It's not dark yet, and no one ever comes in these woods except Bedlam's henchmen. So I'm not sure why she'd be nervous. The most dangerous thing you'd find out here is a skunk, or maybe a scorpion.
Cutting it a little close, aren't we?
Dun dun dun! I jump and whirl round at the source of the noise, just in time to see Madame Scorpion step out of the shadows, like a lioness emerging from the undergrowth. Blah, blah, blah. Lions not typically in undergrowth, as they're on plains. When she stalks forward, she barely makes a sound, and her foot is never in doubt, despite the uneven ground. Somewhere in the depths of my primal lizard brain, my fight or flight reflex is triggered, and I hear a voice scream at me to run. Instead, I cough to clear out the lump in my throat and offer a sloppy salute.
Close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and orbital doomsday lasers, ma'am. I wouldn't know for sure since we never had either of those last two, but it seems like a safe bet.
But you did have horseshoes. Did you have horses?
You're not missing out. Orbital weaponry is overrated. Easily identified and easily dismantled. Just ask Dr. Calamity.
Nope. Scorpion chuckles to herself and shakes her head at a joke that we're not privy to, before her eyes flash to Kate.
I'm surprised to see that you've brought company, Stanley. I don't recall my invitation including a +1.
I thought she was on the app. Kate offers a crisp salute without a flinch.
Ma'am, sorry if I'm intruding. I just saw the gig on the app and...
I am speaking to Stanley. If I require your input, I will request it.
Eyes linger on Kate's still present name tag.
Kate? Is that understood?
This time, Kate stays silent, merely nodding in understanding. Scorpion appraises her for a moment more before... Scorpion appraises her for a moment more before turning her gaze to me. Hastily, I rise from my seat and offer a decidedly less crisp salute.
Now, Stanley, explain yourself. Why is she here with you?
She isn't. She's here on her own. Why are any of us here? Oh, she just followed me here. I want her here. I'm not... I don't really want to throw her under the bus by saying she just followed me here. I don't want her here. I don't want to answer with a philosophical question either. I guess I want to say she just followed me here. She followed me here because she had the gig on the app as well. Right? Yeah. I have a Scorpion's opinion of you, and so is Kate. Oh well.
You didn't have to say it like that.
She followed me here because she has a gig on the app as well. Presumably this one.
What? You did follow me here. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, just answering the question.
Yeah, you're leaving a lot out though, Stan.
My, Stanley. I didn't know that you could be so ruthless. Throwing your friend to the wolves at the slightest hint of danger.
Okay.
You do have potential.
Oh yeah,
Though,
that was your whole thing,
a dash
wasn't
of
it?
subtlety would go a long way. The best betrayal should go completely unnoticed until the last possible moment.
Uh-oh. I get bad vibes from that. Thank you, Madam Scorpion, who's definitely not going to sting me in the back as I transport you across the water.
That look of heart-rending dismay is all the sweeter when it comes just before the sword falls.
Okay.
Duly noted, ma'am. But it wasn't a betrayal, I was just telling you what happened. Really.
Like bleeding near Kate, who grimaces but eventually offers a resigned shrug.
The job was available on the app, wasn't it? So anyone could have signed up if they wanted to.
Under normal circumstances, yes. But this job was supposed to have been marked as exclusive. Only certain users should have been able to see it. So, Kate, are you certain that you signed up for this job in particular?
Are you hacking the app, Kate? Is that your thing? Are you trying to steal the app? Are you here not because you want to steal from Bedlam, but from Scorpion?
Yes, ma'am. Here, I'll pull it up.
Kate unlocks her phone and holds it out for Scorpion, who takes it without hesitation. Nor examining the screen, the supervillain frowns and hands the phone back to Kate.
Odd. Either it's a bug, or someone on our live team needs to remember just who they're working for. You shouldn't have been able to see that.
But you accepted it. I mean, not even seeing it, you shouldn't have been able to accept it even if you could see it. If it's not, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this app works. I don't know how app development works at all. I just sit here and press buttons.
You're one of ours, correct? How long have you been with the program?
I signed up this morning, ma'am.
A few months, ma'am. This is my third gig, first long term.
No.
Sorry about the mistake. I didn't even know that the app had exclusive jobs.
Well, how would you?
Me either. And that's why you're doing this whole closed beta thing, though, isn't it? To test all the features?
That is one of the goals, yes. Well, assuming you don't botch the job and get yourself captured, I expect you to file a bug report before morning. Understood.
How would you have known it was a bug? Unless you told her. Surely you should be the one who is filing. Well, whatever.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Scorpion looks like she's about to inquire further, but before she can, we're interrupted by the sound of helicopter blades, rapidly growing louder. Our eyes turn to the sky, and soon enough, a jet-black helicopter soars into view, flying as low as it can without touching the treetops below. It slows and comes to a halt above the clearing. I step back to give it room, but there's no need, as a rope ladder soon falls down from the side of the vehicle. Nervously, I look at the helicopter, measuring the distance in my head. Physical activity already? Ugh. This job is really gonna be dangerous.
Over half a minute late.
Dun dun dun! Clearly used to this, Scorpion strides over to the ladder and looks back at us expectantly.
Well, we're already half a minute behind schedule, Stanley. Let's not make it worse.
Right, sorry. Just stretching.
Yep.
But you're standing still.
I mean, so are you. You haven't even moved. Well, I guess your eyes are blinking. Is that how you're stretching?
Emotions need stretching too, alright, Kate?
Reluctantly, I walk up to the ladder, take a breath, and begin to climb. Fortunately, aside from one moment near the top where I accidentally looked down, it actually wasn't that bad. Meh. Soon enough, I'm seated inside the helicopter with a dozen other henchmen, in nearly as many different uniforms. Kate soon follows. Madam Scorpion literally leaps up from the ladder afterwards. Okay. While it's nothing next to going one-on-one with Miss Dynamite, this move was so effortless that it makes me wonder about Scorpion's powers. She clearly has some, but do they go beyond her obvious physical abilities? If she was really the top assassin in a world filled with supervillains, surely there's more to it than that, right? Maybe this job is where I'll find out. Though, if it is, that probably means we're in serious danger. She plays things so close to the vest that I can't imagine her revealing her full arsenal unless she has to. So on second thought, maybe some mysteries aren't meant to be solved.
All accounted for. Pilot, take us to the next rendezvous point.
Oh, so we're picking up somebody else? Alright. Never will we see the helicopter interior, though. We will just see the woods, and then probably where we end up. Kate and I hurry to strap in as the pilot complies with Madam Scorpion's order. For her part, the supervillain merely grabs a handhold and plants her feet, unperturbed by the swaying of the helicopter. As we ride towards our destination, the sun starts to slip beneath the horizon, and the city fades into view. Not long after that, our helicopter sets down in a small field near the city limits, and we pile into a van. He suddenly thought, this is entirely outside of the Henchman Story and is more to do with the Cyberpunk Tombs game that we were doing earlier. Where was the mural of the city? That was in the black box room, right? In which case, I mean, if we look at the mural of the city, we'll get an idea of when it was painted, and possibly, thus, when the black box was put down there. So yeah, if we compare the mural to the city itself, then we might get an idea of when it was. That is nothing to do with Henchman Story. You should be following me in other places. Maybe I'll talk about Henchman Story and Tombs next time. Who knows? Anyway, we pile into us a van. I was wondering when we'd make a switch like that. Something like a helicopter is bound to attract attention. As we found out on Wednesday, this job seems a lot more subtle than Lord Bedlam's usual fare. It's the same place, it's the pet store. Oh no. By the time we pile out of the van and into the abandoned parking lot, that's apparently our destination, lush shreds of dusk are gone, and the night is lit only by the moon and the city's bright neon lights.
And here we are. Now, I know this might be a foreign concept to some of you, but while we're exposed, let's try to keep a low profile, shall we? That means minimal chatter, understood?
Or are we going to do the, yep, yes, I understand, of course, yep, I entirely understand that. That is a thing that I have understood. I will certainly keep the chatter to a minimum. No excess sounds will come forth from my mouth. Not on the slightest. Because you said so. And I was listening. She expectantly holds her gaze for a moment while she says the last part, and Kate, who's standing next to me, lightly elbows me in the side.
What?
I think you know.
No.
Now then, all surveillance cameras along our designated route have been disabled, so don't stray from it. We go up the fire escape there, directly west along the rooftops, and enter the fourth building via roof access.
I don't know which way is west. Sorry, I don't have a compass on me.
Well, get moving.
Hup. The other henchmen scramble towards the fire escape. Like a frantic conga line of brightly coloured candies, Kate and I start to follow at a less panicked pace. However, I see Madame Scorpion has started walking in another direction entirely. Perceptive as always, she doesn't fail to notice my stare and turns to face me, eyebrow raised with imperious indignation.
Yes, Stanley? Do you have a question?
You said you turned off the cameras. How did you do that exactly?
What? That's not... Alright, fine. I don't care about that answer.
An insightful query. Perhaps too insightful for your own good, darling.
Yeah.
Do you really think someone of my stature wouldn't know how to deal with a few cameras?
I mean, it's... Yes. Because it changes from place to place.
I guess not.
I
but-
suppose you might be casing this place for a while. I trail off, not daring to finish that thought, pointing out that she didn't answer my question. Pointing out that she didn't answer my question is more likely to earn more... Words. Pointing out that she didn't answer my question is more likely to earn her ire than an answer. Luckily, Kate takes my hesitation as an opportunity to step in.
We're just impressed. That's all, ma'am. You're in a tight ship.
Scorpion doesn't look the least bit flattered as she turns her critical eye on the shorter woman, looking her up and down.
I do indeed. And that means you'd better stop stalling and get up that fire escape. Don't you agree?
Right away, ma'am. Come on, let's get to climbing.
Kate gives me a light rap on the shoulder and a reassuring smile, and I mouth a thank you in return. Not everyone would risk Scorpion's wrath to help me out like that. Even though we pace ourselves, the climb up the fire escape is long, and I find myself a little winded by the time we reach the top. Damn, we're not even to the hard part, and there's already been so much work. Yes, you've had to climb 2 ladders. Possibly 3? I guess the helicopter landed rather than hovering and letting you down. So yeah, 2 ladders you've had to climb. God. Luckily, the henchmen ahead of us didn't do as good a job at pacing themselves, so catching up is easy. Not that Kate would have trouble going a little faster. She barely seems warmed up after that.
Hey, slow down. We're not in a rush.
What's the matter? Winded already? All we've done is climb some stairs. Come on, man.
I guess a fire escape could be stairs rather than a ladder.
No? Well,
yeah.
that too, but that's not the point. Once we catch up, get past the guys in the back, but don't get too close to the front, alright? Trust me.
Be in the middle. Protected like a squishy wizard.
Why? Is that your plan to get out of doing the hard work? Or are you still worried about the cameras?
Both.
Nah, not that. I believe Scorpion when she says they're off. That was genuine curiosity. For an isolated operation, cutting the cameras doesn't sound too crazy. But does she do this for every gig on the app? I know it's the digital age and all that, but it still doesn't seem like something that a person should be able to just do with the snap of their fingers.
Alright, yep. No, wait. Where is it? That one. Haha! No, that didn't work because I'm not over there. Ah, damn it. I have to transition. I turned my camera off, but yep, it's not there. Ah, so I can do it that way instead. Alright. Wait for it. This joke is worth the wait. Oh, yes, it is. Yep, definitely. Definitely worth the wait, eh? Never mind.
No, you're right. It's... Well, I have my theories. I'm kind of surprised you latched onto that detail.
I'll try to take that as a compliment. But all that aside, just trust me on this. The front and the rear are always the worst places to be on any team larger than a dozen.
Where's the best place if it's less than a dozen?
The guys in the rear have it the worst because that's where the superheroes usually show up. And the guys up front deal with the in-house security. But the guys in the middle, they usually make it. Well, unless it's just a big mess and everyone has to scatter. But I doubt that'll happen with Scorpion overseeing this in person.
Oh, yeah, that's good thinking. I never really thought of it like that.
As we catch up to the others, we casually slip past the guys taking up the rear and meld with the middle of the pack. Glance down at Kate and offer a thumbs up, which she returns with an uneasy smile. Wonder if this is a lesson that we would have learned if we had been doing the game night as well. Whether they would have gone, yeah, the people at the back got it and the people at the front got it, but the people in the middle, I didn't get taken out by the rear ambush I was setting up. Who knows? Our patchwork team of mercenary henchmen is quite the odd sight. A mob of multicoloured goons hopping along the rooftops. With the cameras gone and the adjacent buildings either too short or abandoned, there's no one to appreciate the show. No one in the gaggle of henchmen seems to be particularly enthusiastic about it either. None of us know each other. Hell, I don't even recognise most of these uniforms. Everyone took Scorpion's line about minimising chatter to heart. It's a weird vibe. We're technically a team, but not really. Eventually, we reached the target rooftop. The guys in front are both wearing green and gold uniforms. They're either young or cocky, because they walk right up to the roof access door and pull it open. I let out a sigh of relief. So far, so good. Still, as our pikemen start down the stairwell, Kate and I make sure to maintain a safe distance. Something's waiting for us down there. I just have that feeling. Hey, it's a data center. The stairwell from the roof is short. Only meant to connect it to the top level. So it's not long before our little band of misfit henchmen enter the facility proper. Someone lets out a low whistle as our green-clad point men open the door. While he's quickly shushed, I have to agree with the sentiment. What awaits us is impressive. I'm not all that tech-savvy, but my best guess is that it's some kind of server room. Rows and rows of uniform machines hum quietly in the darkness, glowing from the light of their blinking LEDs.
A server farm. That makes sense. You guys were on a data heist for your last operation too, right?
Shh, chatter minimum.
Yeah, we were. You figure that's what we're after here, too?
It would fit. Scorpion doesn't do things randomly.
I nod in agreement. Before we can discuss anything further, our vanguard is waving us to move forward. And the whole group starts creeping slowly forward. Rows make it a tight squeeze for even two people to stand shoulder to shoulder. It's like a futuristic library in here. I glance at Kate and find her looking back at me, jaw set. I nod, equally tense. This would be a bad spot to run into the trouble I'm expecting, which of course means...
Guys, flashlight, 10 o'clock. Guys!
Turn my head and immediately see it, fading and growing brighter as it passes between aisles. Unfortunately, the green and gold duo in front doesn't. Not until they step out into the next aisle and right into its path. Immediately, the guard lets out a shout, and while the green henchmen reach for their weapons, the guard is faster on the draw. Sharp electrical crackle cuts through the air. A heartbeat later, both of the henchmen fall to the floor, twitching violently as sparks run across their uniforms. Already the other henchmen are scrambling every which way. Any sense of discipline shattered almost immediately. This is about to go sideways real fast. Kate rushes to grab the nearest of our would-be teammates, trying to keep them from scattering.
Hey, get back here! We need to stay organized!
Causes some of them to hesitate, but not for long. If I help, maybe we could convince everybody to stick together and find a way out of this. On the other hand, if we just let them run around like a bunch of idiots, they could make for a nice distraction. That's why we didn't take the lead, after all. Whatever I do, though, I need to decide quickly. Do I? Can I just sit here and wait? And make beeping noises? Well, I mean, if I use the team as a distraction, that's obviously going to score points with Scorpion. I don't care about the other members of the team right now. I particularly want to score points for Scorpion, but we'll get our job done no matter what it is. Kate's opinion of you has changed. What a surprise. I reach out and lightly tap Kate. No, I lightly grab Kate's shoulder. Distracted, she loses her own grip on the henchman she was trying to wrangle.
It's too late. They've lost it. This is why we stayed in the middle of the group, remember?
But if they don't get it together, this whole thing is done for.
Yeah, but we might be able to do it.
No, they're done for. This whole thing keeps going with or without them. You think Scorpion's gonna bat an eye when she sees that half these guys are missing?
I mean, they were in the exclusive club to be invited here as well.
No, she definitely won't.
Exactly. So we might as well take advantage of the distraction to make sure that we're in the half that makes it.
Alright, fine. I guess we're playing this cutthroat style.
Yeah.
So we have our distraction. What do you want to do with it?
Let's try and complete the mission. Let's go on the offensive here rather than sneaking out. Let's see if we can actually complete the mission.
We need to go on the offensive. If we pick our spot, we can tip the scales in our favor without too much risk.
So you want to swoop in and steal all the glory, basically.
Sure, why not, if you want to put it like that.
I'd hardly call it glory, but hey, we get paid based on how well we perform, right? So if we end the fight and look good in the process, that's a win-win in my book.
You sure you're new at this app? You seem to have already figured out how to crush the competition.
Yeah, well.
Nah, I'm just lazy. I find the easiest path to success, and I take it.
Sounds about right.
Which in this situation should be right over...
Here. Oh. Kate points to a pair of guards who just entered the room and are running towards the fray.
Those two. They've got tunnel vision, and cutting the enemy off from reinforcements is critical in the situation.
Raise an eyebrow. She sure switched to tactical mode on a dime. Seems out of character for Kate, but then, how well do I know her?
Okay, you got it, General Patton. I'll cut them off and you flank them. Sound good?
Sounds good.
With a final nod of confirmation, I pull out my baton, move to intercept the unsuspecting guards before they can join the fight. Baton in hand, I jog forward through the endless rows of servers, lights whizzing around through the corner of my vision in a blur. Though I make sure to conserve my energy. And it's a good thing I do, because as I round the corner I come face to face with a pair of guards. Luckily, the chaos from the other henchmen running around like headless chickens distracts the father off of the bear, and he leaves to try and chase them down. As he runs out of view, I see a short purple blur chase after him. Damn, Kate can really move. Similar scene plays out with the other guards in the distance. Like one of those cartoon chase scenes where people keep running in and out of doorways in a single hallway, but with way more people and way less dignity. I mean, is there any dignity in Scooby-Doo? That just leaves me with one guard to deal with. Okay, I can handle one.
Alright, you can either walk away, or...
Oh, charged me like a maniac, apparently. I managed to give him a good whack on the shoulder as he rushes me. On his other hand, still manages to reap out and grab a fistful of my uniform. Before I can react, we're both colliding with a rack of servers, and he's clawing at my face.
What the hell, dude? We both look so stupid!
Very stupid. I punctuate each word with a swing of my baton, smacking the guard on the back. Jesus, what kind of security firm did this place hire? I mean, hitting them on the back isn't going to do a hell of a lot. The bludgeoning loosens his grip, and I manage to push him off me quick. Quickly, I step back to gain some distance.
Okay, you asked for it.
Raise my baton and prepare to charge, but pause when I see movement out of the corner of my eye. Is someone hopping on top of the server ranks like a ninja? No, not just someone, it's Kate! In two strides, she leaps onto the adjacent row of servers, and a third she sends the sole of her foot, careening towards the guard's chest with a flying kick. Look at all that action happening on screen. Wind is immediately knocked out of my assailant. She stumbles backwards until she literally bounces off another server. Let's go. By then, Kate has landed, and is there to not only catch him before he collides with the floor, but immediately turn that into an armbar.
I was teeing that one up for you.
I could tell.
With some effort, Kate pulls a zip tie out of her belt and secures the guard's wrist to one of the server ranks. If foe subdued, she twirls out of the armbar, swipes the man's taser, and fires it past my shoulder. Roll round to find a second security guard, already falling to the ground, convulsing from his co-worker's own weapon.
That one was all me, though.
Yep. Turn back to offer a snide remark, only to find a third guard running towards Kate from behind. Lacking any kind of projectile, I run forward and dive into a baseball slide. Swinging my baton at the man's shin. It connects and he trips forward, yelping in pain. Meanwhile, I scramble back to my feet, fumbling with my baton. Where the hell is the shock switch? Oh, there it is. A jolt of electricity from the end of the baton, and a moment later, the guard lies unconscious. I'm sure using electricity on all these server farms isn't going to harm or disrupt the plans at all.
And that was all me, so we're totally even. As long as we're not counting style points.
Oh, we definitely are. Now come on, let's wrap this up.
Thanks to the distraction provided by the other henchmen and Kate's secret ninja skills. That doesn't take long. Not many of our merry band left afterwards, but we're in the clear. I feel my phone buzz. Pulling it out from my belt reveals that it's a notification from the Henchman app. And judging by the reaction of those around me, we all got it.
North stairwell, down 3 floors.
Okay. Look at Kate and she shrugs. Better do what it says. Finding the way down doesn't take long. Well, we double and triple check our corners before entering. Getting caught in a cramped stairwell would be bad news considering our losses already. Caution slows our pace to a crawl. But fortunately, it's an uneventful descent. Soon enough, we open the stairwell door to find...
More servers. Is this whole building filled with them?
Maybe.
Don't doubt it. Classic Madam Scorpion target. But what's this place doing in the middle of the city? The only places with this much sensitive data that I know of are intentionally isolated.
Wait, you've been to one of these places before?
Before Kate can answer, a metal clanging sound echoes across the room and we turn to find a severed metal limb rolled to a stop a dozen meters away. It's got to have been Madam Scorpion chopping off some superhero's arm.
Don't be frightened. It can't hurt you.
Good. With a swagger that your garden variety egomaniac could only dream of, Scorpion saunters into view, holding her energy sword in one hand and what appears to be a decapitated robot head in the other. Yes, as you can clearly see from the artwork on display. A black duffel bag is slung over her shoulder, though she moves like it weighs nothing at all. With a wicked grin, she holds the sparking robot skull up to eye level, like she's in a cyberpunk rendition of Hamlet.
Isn't that right, my friend? Yes, you and all your ilk aren't a threat to anyone right now, are you?
Out of a sense of morbid curiosity, I dare to peer around the corner, even braced for a scene of carnage. The sight is disturbing. A pile of mangled robot parts flows across several of the aisles. Twisted metal limbs and weapon barrels protrude from the heap, and oil pools like blood across the tiles. Scorpion's done more than destroyed them. She's diced them to bits.
But we can't just have them lying around like that, can we? It's unsightly. So, Stanley, darling, you're coming with me, but the rest of you...
I really... okay, fine. She tosses the duffel bag to the ground.
Your next task is in there.
The other henchmen just stare at the bag nervously. All but Kate, anyway, who is looking at me.
Hey, be careful.
Yeah. Being weirded out. Relax, I'm just her favourite. That never seems to help. You too. Hey, you too.
You too.
Kate smiles and wraps her knuckles against my shoulder. With that, I peer step forward, offering Scorpion a salute before kneeling down and opening the bag, revealing cleaning supplies? I guess she wants to literally scrub the place of evidence. Glad I'm getting out of that, with an apologetic shrug. The rest to catch up with the supervillain's long, graceful strides.
Thanks for choosing me, ma'am. For, whatever this is. I appreciate it.
I wouldn't, not until you know what it is.
Don't bother. Your ability to shirk any duties related to manual labor simply makes you more useful to me here. Nothing more.
Okay.
And I'm curious to know how the operation has gone for you so far.
Oh, you know how these things are. Pretty routine. If you've broken into one data center, you've broken into 100.
Don't play coy, Stanley. The question was largely rhetorical. I know exactly how everything happened.
Yeah, because you took care of the cameras and rerouted it all to you, right?
First, you elected to stay in the middle of the group with your partner. A prudent measure, and one that quickly paid dividends as things, how to put it gently, broke down.
Yeah.
Yet you took advantage of that confusion quite well, I must say. Any fools who lose their composure so easily are good for little else beyond a distraction in combat. Oh, and human shields, of course, but I doubt you'd have the strength to carry them around with much grace.
Yeah, thanks for that.
That's not what you're bringing me along for, is it?
I mean, you need more than one person.
Oh, Stanley, what an absurd question.
The answer is obviously yes.
I'd never tell you that. Deception is the key to everything, including and especially martial conflict, which is why your little counterattack went so well.
Yeah, hitting them while they were distracted definitely made it easier. And Kate was a big help, too. Where'd you guys find her? She pulled out some MMA cage fighter type shit out of nowhere.
So she did. I'll be sure to look up her profile.
Yeah, got no idea where she came from. Maybe she's a secret superhero infiltrating, but that doesn't seem likely now. I don't know. As we talk, we move deeper into the room, passing row upon row of servers. A few beats of silence pass before a thought occurs to me.
How did you know what was going on up there anyway? Were you watching?
In a manner of speaking, yes. I would think that was obvious.
Yeah, you rerouted the cameras.
But not in person, right? You couldn't have. Did it have something to do with the cameras?
Persistent about that, aren't you?
Or maybe this is a training facility. Maybe? I don't know. For the Henchman app.
Very well. I'll give you a hint. But only because I like you.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yes, it has something to do with the cameras. But not in the way you think.
In what other way, then?
Can you see through cameras?
Stanley. One hint is all you get.
I mean, is that your superpower? Oh well.
Understood, ma'am.
We continue to walk in silence for a few moments, until I find my gaze lingering on the severed robot head that Scorpion is carrying.
Can I ask a totally different question, though?
I mean, it must be useful to you in some capacity. You wouldn't have just carried it as a trophy, right?
You may. So long as you are prepared for the answer.
Sure. Look, it seems pretty clear that you didn't need any help with this job. So why bring us along at all?
Need? No, of course not. I don't need anyone. People are more of a luxury good. They can make things go faster, more smoothly.
Okay.
Like with the cleanup.
Yes, exactly. And those that didn't make it past the upper floor played their part as well. Drawing guards, creating a mess that's just waiting to be found. Whoever finds that will surely assume that my target was on that floor. And why not? The company who stores their data there is a weapons manufacturer after all. The perfect red herring, don't you think?
Not a bad one.
But what you're after is here instead?
Precisely. And when our friends have cleaned up the mess, no one will suspect I was here, among terabytes of private data scraped from the far corners of the internet.
No. There are many henchmen who have been knocked out on this top floor. But if we go down a couple of floors, we get to a place where the robot guards were here, but now there aren't any of them. But there's no sign there's been a fight here, so I don't know. Perhaps they just walked out on the job because they were unionizing and decided they didn't want to be part of a capitalist society anymore. Yep, that's obviously what happened to those robots. Definitely not a distraction on the top floor, and, the lack of robots down here is a different matter entirely.
So while some hero or agency spends weeks chasing down a fake lead, any trace of the true theft will have disappeared.
She turns to me with a devious grin and winks. I cough into my hand and avert my eyes, wilting under her gaze. In response, she lets out a haughty laugh, which only serves to make me feel more awkward.
Such a professional.
By now, we've passed the last row of servers and reached the very edge of the room. A thick metal security door stands before us, controlled by a nearby keypad.
Hold this for me, darling.
Not bothering for confirmation, Scorpion shoves the hilt of her beam saber into my hands. I fumble for a second, I quickly gain control and immediately lock it into a two-handed death grip. Meanwhile, the supervillain puts her free hand on the keypad and closes her eyes. Out of the corner of my eye, I see her grip tightening on the robot head, causing the metal to squeal in protest. Soon enough, the keypad turns green and I hear the sound of the door's locks engaging. Yeah, she's obviously got some technopathy. Controlling technology through her mind. How did she do that? Think back to my question about how she saw what happened on the top floor. There's definitely a connection there. But what is it? Or is this just yet another juicy red herring? I wouldn't put it past her. Screwing with people seems to be her favourite pastime. I'm clearly in our crosshairs. In fact, when her eyes open and turn in my direction, that's exactly what they look like. Crosshairs.
Now, Stanley.
She removes her hand from the security panel and slowly reaches towards me, smiling in a way that is equal parts alluring and foreboding. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but find it unnerving. With a self-satisfied hum, she plucks the hilt of her weapon from my hands.
Would you kindly step through that door?
You're not sure you've shut off all the security systems, right? And you're using me as a canary. No thanks.
No thanks. I think I'm good right here.
Are you now?
Well, the last time I followed your directions today, I ended up at the end of a metaphorical fishing hook.
And is that more or less dangerous than the end of a literal energy sword?
That all depends on the fish, ma'am.
You really are learning, aren't you?
No? That was how I was thinking before I met you?
I'm so proud.
Oh dear.
Really? That seems like a low bar for an attaboy.
Stanley, one of your peers came to this assignment with an emoji mask. The bar is positively subterranean.
I mean, sounds like a good disguise to me.
But regardless, I still gave you an order. And where my orders are concerned, your trust is not a factor.
Isn't it, though?
No.
Feel my mouth go dry as Scorpion slinks towards me, death in her eyes. I thought it was crosshairs.
My ambition is the only factor that matters.
Uh-oh. Suddenly, I'm caught up in a blur of motion. The door swings open violently. I feel someone grab my arm and send me hurtling towards it before I have time to react. Even though I know it must have been Madame Scorpion who did it, she moves so fast that I can't actually see her do it. One moment I'm staring right at her, the next all I see are shadows. Seriously, that's all I see. Even as I stumble to a stop inside the room, I have trouble finding my bearings. Why is it so dark in here? I start to fumble for my flashlight, but before I can find it, I hear a machine whir and a metal groan as a pair of glowing red eyes come to life right in front of me. Soon the eyes are joined by a veritable constellation of LEDs. From the dim, foreboding light, I can make out a massive frame of yet another robot slowly rising to its feet. All 4 of them. 4 feet? Why did it need 4 feet? Why does it need to be like 3 meters tall? And why does it need all those guns? Alright, the guns.
Shit, shit, shit!
Scramble to the side, desperately searching for cover. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see the robot's weapons tracking me. I'm not going to move fast enough. But someone else does.
Thank you, Stanley.
In a blur of black and red, Madame Scorpion streaks into view before the deadly machine can open fire, while it quickly turns to face this clearly more imminent threat. By then it is far too late. Scorpion's blade moves so fast that it looks like a continuous streak of light, painting a crisscrossing pattern of crimson across the machine's hulking form till it is practically covered in glowing crosshatches. As the pattern fades, a quadrupedal titan groans, and then all at once collapses into a heap of minced plating and shattered circuitry. There isn't a limb or weapon barrel left intact. And we're never going to see this titan. But there we go. As the robot's bolts and shredded bits of armor plating roll around on the floor, Madame Scorpion steps out from the darkness, tinkering with a knob on her weapon's hilt.
The frequency was off a little. Those cuts should have been much cleaner.
Oh dear, never mind. Better luck next time. With a flourish, she deactivates the energy blade and returns it to the hilt on her hip. Only then does she acknowledge me, with a smile that seems even more dangerous than usual, now that it's obscured in shadow.
But you were an excellent distraction, Stanley.
Glad to have been of service, ma'am.
Even if you were unwilling.
Yep.
Thanks? But why did you even need one?
Well, because you need a distraction. It targets you, and then she can be on it in a second. If she had just opened the door and gone in, then it would have been targeting her.
They kept this unit from connecting with the main network to mask its presence. Not the first time I've seen that trick, so I wanted to be sure that I wasn't walking into anything.
Thanks.
So they had a super secret robot just sitting in here, specifically to guard this room. And what exactly is hidden in this data that you're after?
Hidden? Why, nothing at all. Just mundane details gathered from insignificant individuals.
Is this all for the Henchman app?
Seriously? All this for some mundane details?
Individually mundane, but together? As precious as gold. You'll understand soon enough. But for now...
I don't know that I will. The sound of approaching footsteps interrupts Scorpion's order. By the time I turn to find their source, Kate is standing in the doorway, breathing hard.
Ma'am, we heard a commotion from over here. Do you need any assistance?
For a second, it looked like she's about to ask a follow-up question. That fades as soon as her head turns in my direction. Well, I think someone here is concerned about my well-being.
Not urgently, so no. Is the cleanup complete?
Just about.
The others should have it wrapped up momentarily. It was a struggle with the few hands we have remaining, but we got it done.
Good news, I guess.
Very well. Then help Stanley with this last one. Don't leave a trace behind.
Yes, ma'am.
As Kate rushes over to help, Scorpion walks deeper into the room, starting to disappear into the darkness. For a few steps, she gives pause and leers at me over her shoulder, her face half covered in shadow.
You made the right decision, Stanley. You're taking to this well. A natural fit.
Okay. Swallow the lump that's formed in my throat and nod. Like that, Scorpion takes her leave, slipping into the darkness with silent steps. By now, Kate's reached my side, along with Scorpion's duffel bag of cleaning supplies.
You alright? What happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. God used his bait, but as you can see...
I gesture to the pile of scrap that used to be an 8-foot-tall death machine. Kate nods in understanding and offers me a pat on the back.
Well, I'm glad it's lying there and not you.
Okay. As she gets closer, I can finally make out details of her face through the darkness. There's blood on her lip and a small tear in her mask.
Wait, are you bleeding? What happened?
Oh, that. Yeah, we ran into a straggler. I think its pathing got messed up on the way here, so it was slow to respond to our employer's little mess. I took care of it, though. No big deal.
You defeated a robot?
Really? After what I saw, anything that could take you on must be at least a little bit of a big deal.
Oh, come on. Taking out some underpaid night shift muscle isn't much of a feat. I know a few moves, that's it.
And then you took out a robot.
But seriously, I just got a little careless. I'll ice it when I get back. Now, come on, let's get this sucker in the dustbin.
I like that zipline noise. A few minutes later, I'm hurtling through the air, clinging to a zipline for dear life. What is zipline? I asked the same thing. Scorpion said it was yet another red herring, but I think she just wanted to see if I'd scream. Well, too bad for her. I managed to avoid any and all squeals, yelps, or shrieks as I careened towards the parking lot, although my landing is hardly dignified. The momentum from the zipline carries me forward after I touch down, and I flail wildly before gracelessly falling to the asphalt.
What was wrong with the fire escape?
Turned to find the supervillain standing over me, having stuck her own landing without flinching. Not surprising. She could have probably jumped out the window and landed unscathed, honestly.
Nothing at all. It's just another sign that we were focused on the top floor. Misdirection, Stanley. Remember?
Really? Okay.
Right.
Start to scrape myself off the ground, but when I reach my knees, I find a purple glove held out in my direction.
And here I thought you had the agility of a panther.
A very lazy panther.
2 panthers. They're heavy animals, okay?
Sure. Clearly, that zip line required a rating of 3 panthers or higher.
Toss aside, I'm grateful for the help, and happily take Kate's extended hand. Once I'm back on my feet, I dust myself off and start heading for the van. One by one, Scorpion and the remaining henchmen pile into the back of the van. It's a lot less crowded this time, and some take advantage of the empty seats by stretching out. Scorpion uses one as a pedestal for the severed robot head she acquired earlier, possibly because she still needs it for something, but more probably because she's a bloodthirsty sadist. I mean, it was a robot head. So no? Just before we close the doors, a shout echoes out from across the parking lot. It's one of the green-clad henchmen who had taken point. Apparently, the taser wore off.
Holy shit, I think he can actually make it.
Drive.
He could have 30 seconds ago, but not now. And you should be glad that's the case. That's one less person who gets a share of the completion fee. I'd suggest closing the door, Stanley.
Oh, me? Oh, why do I have to make this decision? Look out towards the stranded henchman, desperately waving at us as he drunkenly stumbles closer. I imagine I looked just like that as I was fleeing Miss Dynamo on Wednesday. But this is Scorpion show, plus, she is right about the money. No, I don't care about you. As I said, I'm going to close the door on you. Let me show what kind of a horrible, mean person I am. I mean, he can still make it back, right? He can just change out of his henchman gear into something else and then get back to wherever he came from. Now, Scorpion's opinion of you has changed. Kate's opinion of you has changed. I offer Kate an apologetic wince, and then reach for the door handle. It slams itself closed easily, but it's a double door. That leaves it half open, with a matching door on Kate's side of the van. She's not budging, so I scramble over.
Wait, look, he's close.
Yeah. Look out the remaining door, Kate's right. He's not far, we'd only have to wait another 20 seconds or so. 20 seconds, 20 whole seconds. Off we go. Oh no! The all too familiar sound of a human-shaped meteor falling to Earth puts an end to my hesitation, and I slam the door shut.
Thank you, Stanley. Driver, let's be off.
Why would you stop that one henchman rather than the car that is obviously leaving? The van roars to life, screeching out of the parking lot as fast as it can. I hear the green henchman yelling at us in the distance. Soon enough, it's accomplished. It's accompanied by the sound of the aforementioned meteor finally crashing to the Earth.
Scorpion!
Ah, Miss Dynamo.
Come out! You can't hide from me forever.
Too late.
You know, I never had to deal with a pissed-off Miss Dynamo until I met you, ma'am. I mean, she still had zero problem kicking my ass, but she was a lot friendlier about it.
A civil relationship with one's mortal enemies has little value, in my opinion. I prefer her this way. She makes mistakes when she's angry.
But I mean, if she was civil with you, then wouldn't you be able to stab her in the back at some point, and the betrayal would be that much sweeter, or whatever you said at the beginning?
And when I at last put an end to our little game, I want it to be raw. That moment when she realizes she's been raging and roaring against the inevitable, that will be something I can truly relish.
Okay.
Put an end to your game? Do you mean...
Scorpion's head tilts curiously as her eyes snap to Kate. That alone causes Kate to trail off, although Scorpion herself doesn't reply for several moments, letting the silence hang as she examines my fellow henchman.
Kill her? Why does it matter? It's no concern of yours.
Yeah. Scorpion leans a little closer, examining Kate's expression. I get second-hand nerves just from watching. I know from experience how it feels to have Scorpion stare into your soul like that.
You're too soft for this.
No, ma'am. I was just...
That wasn't a question. You are. Look at Stanley.
No, don't look at me. Scorpion gestures towards me so grandly that I feel self-conscious about my appearance.
He understands what this is. But you haven't grasped it, have you? And here I thought you'd been part of our program for longer than him.
I mean, what? Are you trying to make one ultra henchman? Weed it down until it's the best henchman they could ever be? And then clone their brain patterns?
Sorry, ma'am.
Don't apologize. You'll learn
don't know.
eventually, one way or another.
Supervillain holds her gaze on Kate for a moment longer before finally pulling away. As she returns to her own seat, she turns to me, placing one hand delicately on my shoulder.
This is but the first step down a new path for you, Stanley.
Okay.
Keep walking it with me, and we will find riches at the end of it.
I mean, I like the riches, but am I comfortable walking it with you?
Sure. Got it.
She squeezes my shoulder just a bit too hard and smiles just a bit too wolfishly before finally returning to her own seat. I tried to herd my nervous exhale as I lean back in my seat. Just the first step, huh? Why do I feel so exhausted by it? I close my eyes and try to let the rattling of the van rock me to sleep. It doesn't work. Some of the other henchmen tried to start up some awkward small talk. That doesn't work either. In the end, all we're left with is an uneasy silence, even as we pass the city limits. Back into the helicopter. Oh, different poses, different picture. Silence carries all the way until our pickup point, even as we drop the remaining henchmen back at their own rendezvous locations. Something different about Madam Scorpion there. Wider mouth? I don't know. For I know it, it's just Madam Scorpion, Kate, and I, all alone as we ride the helicopter back to Lord Bedlam's lair. Not sure anyone even offered a goodbye. Not that this was a tightly knit group or anything. Meh. Even during our brief flashes of cooperation, we weren't really a team. That was the point. We were only united in that all we wanted, an extra paycheck. And you might say it was more honest that way. There was no self-indulgent speeches about how we're all brothers and sisters, no empty platitudes from a supervisor who calls me buddy. He won't even recommend me for a cost of living raise. If you're good enough to get the job done and make it out, you're paid well. If not, you're left in the dust. Scorpion was right. I could make a killing like this. I'm good enough to, well, until I'm the only one left in the dust. Until I'm the one left in the dust. I mean, until you're the only one left as well. Don't think you'd survive on your own. How long could I stave that off, I wonder? Watch Kate wipe the blood from her lips with her knuckle. Even just one of these gigs takes a toll on people like her, and I. So I'd have to play it smart. If I did, Madam Scorpion, who spent most of the ride casually examining the robotic skull she pilfered, her thoughts a mystery. I could never have what she has, no matter what I do. I know that, and yet she has me wondering. How close could I get? I'll never have her powers. I'll never play this henchcan thing right. Maybe, just maybe. No. No one foot in front of the other, man. You've got some extra money in your pocket. You carried a little favour with the new boss. That's good enough for now. Or it will be, as soon as I can collapse in my bed. Side hustle achievement unlocked. And issue 6, Finite Crisis. I barely remember collapsing into my bed when I finally got back into my room. I'm pretty sure that I fell asleep as soon as I made contact with the sheets. I knew this side hustle was going to be work, but I underestimated just how much of a toll it would take. It wasn't that crazy compared to some of the other operations I've been a part of, but I really underestimated how draining it is to do a second shift of anything after you've already worked a full day. It's going to be tempting to take more gigs, but if I don't pace myself, I won't be awake long enough to even enjoy the extra money. Unless, of course, my phone interrupts my hibernation. Like right now. Christ, what time even is it? I don't even remember setting an alarm. That's the point. I set my alarm. Oh, I haven't adjusted my clock yet. My bedside clock reads 6:10. Definitely not an alarm. At least, not one that I set. Is someone calling me? I fumble for my phone and peer at the screen as I rub the sleep from my eyes. It's Kate! Begrudgingly, I swipe to the right and hold the phone to my ear.
Kate? How the hell are you up after last night? Didn't a robot smack you in the face?
I don't know, did it?
Yeah, well, there are some things that are worth shaking that off for.
Such as?
Listen, I've got something important to show you. I know we only met a couple days ago, but it feels like we've been on the same wavelength since the start, you know? Like, we already know each other.
No, really?
Ugh, it's not like someone who says they're only looking for Libras in their kindling profile. Ignore that. I'm not talking about some cosmic connection. I just like you, Stan. And I think you like me.
Okay.
There's something I need to tell you before I lose my chance, and I need to do it in person. It's just one of those things you shouldn't do over the phone.
Alright, you gonna reveal you're a superhero?
Meet me at the door you showed me. Number 1385. Come alone.
Can you open that door?
Hey, slow down. My brain's still in boot-up mode. Let me just tell Dave where I'm going.
Dave, that's the name of the supervisor.
No, I mean, look, please don't tell anyone, okay? I'm serious.
I was joking. Jeez, sorry. You sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just hurry, okay? It's really important.
Man, my sleep is important. It's not a drug deal. I'm not gonna say that. Important how? I mean, that is such a stupid question to ask. It's important in the way that it is of a higher priority than other things.
So you've said, but important how?
It's hard to explain. I need to show you.
Alright, and you're going to show me on the corridor where the high research areas are, and there's bound to be cameras and stuff. Alright, I guess.
Just please trust me right now. That's all I'm asking.
All right, but can I get a dash of context? A pinch, even?
I mean, that beep made it sound like she'd just signed off.
Kate? Hello? Shit.
See? Normally, I blame the cave walls for messing with the Wi-Fi, but with all the talk of hurrying, I have a feeling that she just hung up. Where did that come from? Yeah, we've been getting along well, but that was a weird vibe for a 6 a.m. phone call. Not even a text, like a sane person. She had to call and wake me up. Combined with how closely she's been following me around? Yeah, very weird vibe. If it were the middle of the night, this would feel like the perfect stage for either a heartfelt confession or a heart-rending murder, if my life feels like changing genres. But at 6 a.m., could be anything. Still, if Kate says it's important, that's good enough for me, apparently. Take a moment to rub my eyes and stretch before rolling out of bed. I'm so tired that the first few steps are wobbly, so I slap myself a little to jumpstart my system.
Come on, man. Get it into gear.
I snatch my uniform from the floor and give it a tentative sniff. A little ripe, but not too bad. Apparently I need to hurry, so it'll have to do. No time for my usual morning routine either, so in lieu of my toothbrush, rummaged through my nightstand for an old tin of mints, expired 8 months ago. Probably still fine. Do mints go off? I guess they must have a best before date on them as well. Chewing on my vaguely mint-flavoured chalk and still zipping up my uniform, I hurry out of the door. Walk through the hallways at a brisk pace, completely unimpeded by traffic. The place is practically empty at this time of day, though I'd at least expected to find one or two diehards patrolling the halls with gusto. The research wing is the same. I don't encounter a single guard on my way here. Surely someone was meant to have their shift. This guy don't have anything to do with why Kate called me, right? Finally, I reach my hall. My familiar lonely hall. Home to my equally lonely door. Number 1385, right where I left it. Except this morning, my door isn't so lonely. Kate is keeping it company, leaning against the adjacent wall. She quickly spots my approach and gives me a wave even. I thought it was going to be a warm wave, but no, it's just a wave. Though, it lacks some of her usual enthusiasm. I return the gesture.
Hey, thanks for coming.
No problem. After all, you said it was important. Several times.
Sorry, I had to be sure. I know I might have sounded like a crazy person.
Yep.
But I'm not. You know that, right?
Nope, I know nothing of the sort.
Yeah, definitely. I'm here, aren't I? So what did you need to tell me? Are you wondering what was up with Scorpion and that robot skull too? You think it was just a souvenir, or does she run a robotics chop shop on the side?
No, bigger than that. Way bigger. I'm actually not sure you'll believe me. So first, I want to show you something. You know this door that you've never opened? Well, we're going to open it.
Dun dun dun!
You're gonna stab me in there, aren't you?
Maybe. Come in and find out.
What? No! Why would you think that?
Well, you have been following me around a lot.
So you're getting stalker vibes? Okay.
I mean, somehow you just happened to be waiting for me right after I accepted that Henchman gig? Come on, you've got to admit that was more than a coincidence.
Okay, yeah, that's a little suspect. Fine, I admit it, I've been following you around a little, but not to stab you. I mean, what the hell, man?
It's this superhero universe that we live in. I expect people to stab me on a daily basis.
When it comes to potential stabbings, it never hurts to double check.
That another official piece of veteran wisdom?
Sure, why not?
As official as it gets.
Right. Well, we're not getting through this door all that officially, so you may want to stand back.
Hesitantly, I take a few steps back from the door. She's not going to blow it, is she? Just going to kick it? With superhuman strength? No, Kate's not touching the door at all. Instead, her attention is on the keypad, which she's already cracking open.
Moment of truth.
Kate reaches into her belt and pulls out a small white and blue device, which she plugs into the keypad. For a few moments of fidgeting, she lets out a friendly beep, and the door slides open with a groan. Wow. Can we recruit Kate to be our network hacker? That would be great.
After you. Figure you should see it first, considering how many hours of your life you've spent standing right next to it.
Wow, polite and pessimistic. This is why we get along.
Polite and pessimistic. That wasn't pessimistic, was it?
After you. Figure you should see it first, considering how many hours of your life you've spent standing right next to it.
Okay, right, and I actually did go backwards then, so I could see. That's not pessimistic.
Wow, alright. Let's see what Lord Bedlam's been hiding. Maybe this is where he stashed all that dog food.
Take a deep breath and step inside. Ooh. Well, holy shit. This is a lot bigger than I expected. What the hell is that? That monolith of a machine can't possibly be a computer. Can it? I don't see what else it could be. There are no visible pipes or mechanisms, just wires. Looks like it houses circuitry. Getting some serious, I can't let you do that vibes from this thing. Oh, I can't let you do that, Dave. Yes. Actually, what I was looking at and seeing there, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's an organ to pipe all his mystery music when he is raised up onto the stage. I guess it could be a computer too.
This has been here the whole time? I come in peace, hopefully not evil AI person. Please don't sick any robots on me. I've had quite enough of that recently, thank you very much.
Yep, just last night, in fact.
I'm sorry, it is too late, Stan. Now I must turn you into a cyborg and enslave your mind.
Thank you, Kate. Hilarious.
Don't worry, we're still about 3 decades away from any serious threat of an uprising, and there's a good chance the robots get too distracted by social media to actually overthrow the government.
I don't think we're that far away from a possibility of an AI.
So this huge housing and all the circuitry inside it are going to be dedicated to posting GIFs? At that size, I bet it could just make a few thousand of them as easily as searching for one.
He said GIFs, not GIFs. He said GIFs.
Oh no, by then we'll be living in a post-GIF society. It'll be holograms or astral projections or whatever.
Right, but will we still have statements punctuated by clapping emojis? I feel like all those full stops would be super appealing to a robot.
I'm now imagining like a modern day spell or whatever you call or whatever in an RPG where you could just surround them in social media things. It would, I don't know, stun them or distract them, or maybe they would be entangled in it for some sort of spell, surrounded by social media posts. Just so engrossed in it that they don't pay attention to everything that's going on outside it. Interesting idea.
Humans are an inferior life form, period. But tragically, I could never make any 15-second dancing videos. Alas, I have no legs, and I must meme.
Oh god, we need more sleep.
Yeah, we do.
So much more sleep.
But seriously, robot uprising aside, is this why you were so curious about the door on our tour? Did you know this was in here?
Yes, she did.
Sort of. I knew something like this was in here, but not this exactly. I didn't think they had enough time to set a unit like this up, but Scorpion and Bedlam must have been working together for longer than anyone thought.
So this machine is Scorpion?
Sort of.
Oh,
I knew something
happened
like
there?
this was in here, but not this
Oh,
exactly.
well.
So this machine
went
is
backwards again.
Scorpion's? I guess that makes sense. Lord Bedlam isn't exactly at the cutting edge when it comes to technology. But what did she put it here for?
I guess maybe my mouse wheel is messing up, because that is how I went backwards when I wanted to go backwards, but I wasn't even touching the mouse wheel that time. That might explain why the stuff happened at the beginning of the episode as well.
And that's where things get
This stream,
complicated.
not
Think,
the episode.
what do you know about Madame Scorpion?
That we're on.
Outside of the whole assassin thing, what are her skills? Her interests?
She got computery type things.
She was Bedlam's partner on that job Wednesday, right? She showed up personally for it, even intervened. And what was she after?
Data. Not really sure what kind, but it was a private tech company. No weapons, no financials. I never really figured out anything more specific than that.
And her business, the Scorpion Group. They've got this new Henchman app, right? Others too. And how do apps identify, recruit, and monetize users? Data.
Yes, data.
The private kind that companies aren't technically supposed to keep, but always do.
Okay, I follow you. But is that really all this is about? An app for hiring meat shields?
No, I guess it must be about getting everybody's data so that you can predict who and what they are and when they will do things. Maybe? I don't know.
No, it's more than that. Think about it. You were part of her second data heist in a week, and those are just the ones you know about. That would be overkill for a few apps. And it's more than a business asset to her. Come on, you saw her in action last night, didn't you? Think about how she acted. Did she say or do anything that felt off?
I mean, she's a I don't know that she's psychotic, but she's a killer who is very interested in stuff. So I don't know, everything she said was off slightly.
Yeah, actually. Remember that thing with those guards in the first room? She knew every detail about it without even being there. And when I brought it up, she started this whole cat and mouse thing.
I mean, that is not off for her.
Somehow, I think she was tapping into the security system there. Then later, before I got turned into a decoy, she was able to hack open the door just by touching it. And I didn't notice her carrying anything to actually take that data with her, now that I think about it.
Robot head.
That sounds consistent. So, based on that, clearly she can communicate with complex inorganic systems. What do you think that means?
Could she be a robot? No, she's not a robot. I don't know.
Oh my god, Madam Scorpion's a robot! I thought you said we had 3 decades!
No, see, I dismissed that thought immediately as well, but comedic potential, I guess.
What? No, she's human. She just has powers that let her brain work like a robot's. Sort of.
Oh no. No wonder she needs human henchmen. She can't do any of those captures. Did you hear about that? That they got that one of the, I think, was it Chat GPT, whichever it was, that hired a human to do the capture for it by pretending that it was blind? God, that's a scary thing. So the AI fooled a human into thinking it was another blind human. Man, I don't know how you could combat against that sort of thing. How could you verify that somebody is a human? I mean, you could do it with... You couldn't do it over text because then it could be a computer. You couldn't do it over voice because it could be a computer-generated voice. You couldn't even do video call because it could just be deepfaked. Or, you know, AI-generated imagery. So, I don't know. You have to go there and actually see the person. Scary stuff.
It doesn't officially have a name because she's the only known case, and she's not exactly forthcoming on the details. I like to call it cerebral superprocessing.
Alright, not technopathy. Well, no, I guess that's the manipulation of all the stuff as well.
On a basic level, she appears to absorb and process data subconsciously, way beyond the rate of a normal human. However, it's expanded to a variety of physical and mental abilities.
Right, so that's how she was able to hack that door. She must have some kind of superhuman Wi-Fi, too.
Do you think she knows about your stuff, then?
Sure, if that helps you understand it better. That Wi-Fi and her enhanced physique could come from nanotech that rides off of her power's coattails, or a completely organic evolution of her baseline abilities.
Or magic. I mean, could be magic, because this is that kind of world. Don't just go with the 2 ones. You could have sold her soul to the devil. Or to heaven.
It's like I've been telling you, she's uniquely dangerous. And since you've been caught in her gravity, well, I figured you ought to know.
I mean, she's not... I mean, they're all uniquely dangerous in their own dangerous, unique ways.
Appreciate it. I don't know if I'll be able to put it to use, but at least I know a little more about what all this has been for.
No problem. Like I said, you deserve to know at least that much. You might work for a supervillain, but the difference between someone like Lord Bedlam and Madam Scorpion is vast. You're way out of your league.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Love that you're supportive of me there.
Kate, I'm always out of my league. That's part of the job. But why the steroidal server over there? Isn't all that information in her head?
I mean, I guess she has to dump it out at some point.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's meant to augment her power, or cycle new sets of data in and out. Whatever it's for, she must think it's important. She's invested a ton in it.
I mean, it's got Lord Bedlam's symbol on it, and it's been here for however long I've been here guarding it. Presumably.
Her and Bedlam both, it looks like. Or at least he paid for the paint job.
Yeah.
If that. As far as I can tell, your boss has basically turned into a supervillain shell company for the Scorpion Group. So he might have picked the paint, but paid for it? Doubt it.
I mean, they've been working together a lot longer then, because I've been guarding this door. Well, I guess I've never known what's in here. Could have changed what's in here.
Good point. I don't think that dog food heist paid enough for a liter of soda, much less 20 gallons of paint. But hey, why don't we go find ourselves some index cards and string so we can set up a conspiracy board somewhere other than the secret supercomputer room, okay? Not that I don't appreciate the glimpse behind the curtain, but something tells me that if Scorpion finds us here, then it'll be the last thing we glimpse. Come on.
Turn towards the exit, motioning for Kate to follow.
Stan, wait.
No, you got something else to tell me?
Wait for what? Now you know I hate to pull rank, but listen to the vet on this one, okay? There are times to wait and talk things through, but this is not one of them.
You've taken long enough to say that sentence that she could have turned up. Keep moving, but Kate still doesn't follow.
I mean it. Stop. There's something else.
Oh?
And I mean it, Kate.
You don't think this room is monitored by the cameras or anything?
I appreciate you calling me up here and showing me this. Really, I do. But I can't get caught in here, alright? You told me the big important thing you wanted to tell me, so now let's go.
Once more, I turn to leave.
That's the thing, Stan. There was one more thing that I needed to tell you.
Are you a robot? What? No! Smoke rises from the scorch marsh in front of my feet, stopping me dead in my tracks. Mouth agape, I turn towards Kate to find her training a weapon at me.
Kate?
That's not my name.
I blink, dumbfounded, and glance at the weapon. Blue and white. Just like the thing she used to open the door, and just like...
Shining Nova.
Dun dun dun! Dun 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 dun! She's a hero trying to infiltrate this place. That surprises me.
There you go. Knew you'd recognize me eventually. Just had to jog your memory a little.
By shooting at me. Thanks, lover. There's no way. There's just no way. This whole time, I thought I'd been making friends with some cool new co-worker, not a world-famous superhero. No, not just making friends. I've been flirting with a world-famous superhero. Have you? Alright, okay. How did I miss it? Were there signs? Maybe.
Sorry. Elephant tranquilizers tend to make things a little hazy. But your memory didn't need any jogging, did it? No, you recognized me from the moment you got here. That's why you went right up to me during orientation. That's why you've been following me around.
That explains the midget of my book club.
It's also why you busted out all those crazy ninja moves during last night's job. And that's why... Are you telling me you left your name tag on so you could remember your fake name?
Yeah,
Seriously?
that makes sense.
Hey, it's tough to keep everything straight when you're going undercover. There's nothing wrong with a cheat sheet.
It's one syllable. You work at the absolute cutting edge of
Right.
robotics, and you can't remember Kate?
Isn't that 2 syllables? Isn't k a syllable? K8? No? Am I wrong?
It's just, I have a lot
I've
of
been
names
sure
to
on the
keep
rules
straight,
of what
okay?
it is and is not a syllable. Alright, you have a lot of names. You've got 2, 3 names?
Anyway, I was going to answer 3 questions as an apology for being dishonest with you, but I'm counting that as the first one. So now you only get 2.
Yeah,
I
alright.
don't think that's gonna cover everything.
You'll make do. Oh, come on. Fire away.
Let me say that, not you. I don't want you firing away. Alright. Was it all a lie? All this just to get my number. Isn't telling me this dangerous? Isn't telling me this dangerous?
Isn't it dangerous to tell me all this? I could blow
Shining
your
Nova's opinion of you has changed. Ah!
I'm past that stage, but honestly, I trust you more than anyone else in this place.
I mean... Okay, thanks. Everyone else in this place is a henchman, and... I mean, you shot me once, and based on that, you came up and talked to me? In here, when you were a minion? I don't know.
low bar, considering your profession.
Maybe, but it still counts for something. You're capable of doing the right thing, Stan. I can tell.
I mean, yes, capable of. I mean, everybody is capable of it.
Maybe I'm capable of taking you down.
Taking me?
Okay, it's not that funny.
But isn't it though?
Hey, last time you had your ass-kicking outfit on. I think this time I'd stand a chance.
Oh, honey, every outfit is my ass-kicking outfit.
Lovely line.
It's like if we were playing basketball and I was dunking all over your face. so you made me switch shoes. It wouldn't change a thing. But you tried your best, so you get orange slices at halftime and a participation trophy at the end of the game.
Cool.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll put it in my trophy case next to my Hero Weekly cover issue.
Wait, you were the guy getting clobbered by Captain Commodore? Holy shit.
Okay, yeah, I guess I was wearing the same clothes, so yeah. If you knew all of them, you would know which one it was instantly.
Isn't it Captain Commander?
Honestly, no one knows. All right, I'm counting that as one question. You get one more. Make it count.
What's your escape plan here? Can we grab a drink instead? Why me? Why me?
Why me? Because we had a short conversation and then you tranquilized me? That can't be all of it.
Apparently it is.
Well, it's like I said, Stan. I like you.
Okay.
This isn't coming out right. What I'm saying is...
Suddenly alarms blare, echoing through their stone halls, and lights begin to flash, cutting off Kate, or rather, shining Nova, before she can finish her thought.
Shit, thought I had more time. Guess this is where we part ways. Unless... Come with me. I got what I came for, but that's just the first step. I could use your help with the rest.
How am I supposed to trust that after you just revealed that you've been deceiving me this whole time?
Yeah, that's true.
This isn't an angle, Stan. I'm honestly making an offer.
I mean... How would I know?
This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. All the bad luck and desperate decisions that got you here, you can undo them. A total reset. All you have to do is go out on a limb and trust me.
You're gonna pay off my debt?
Or I could torpedo my career and live out my days in a trailer park somewhere, wondering when I'm gonna wake up covered in scorpion stings.
And as well.
You're asking me to risk what little I've built here on what? What guarantee?
I can't offer you one. But sometimes the only chance you have to break away from a system like this is to take that kind of risk. Sometimes you have to bet on yourself. So what do you say? Ready to make that wager?
Ooh, well, I mean, does this actually change anything? If I say, I'll go with you, will she then say, okay, thanks for saying that you'll go with me, I actually need an inside man, so you've got to stay here. And so the rest of it will play out, but I'll be betraying everybody. Or, I can't go with you, but I won't stop you. Or, I'm staying put, and so are you! Because I'm, super henchman. I mean, this is called Henchman Story. I'm going to stay a henchman. I'm going to stay in the bad thing. It's just, do I try and take down Shining Nova / Kate at the same time? I'm going to get tortured horribly if I don't. So, I'm staying put, and so are you.
I'm not going anywhere.
Shining Nova's opinion of you has changed. Pull my baton out from its holster on its hip and snap it to the side, letting it telescope to its full length. Telescope.
And neither are you.
Dun dun dun!
God damn it. Why are you making me do this?
Because.
Could ask you the same thing.
But you don't have to. Just grit your teeth and do the right thing.
Just grit my teeth, pull myself up by my bootstraps, and make it happen, huh? Oh, is that all it took this whole time? Gee, I wish I'd known. Maybe it was that simple for you. The part about you being an engineer. That much is true, right? That's a damn good backup plan if this superhero thing doesn't work out. Me, I don't have the luxury of a parachute. This job is what I've got. Period.
So make something else. Stan.
I'm done arguing. Cards on the table, Nova.
Fine. Read 'em and weep then.
Ah, big shot. Almost faster than I can follow. Nova's hand snaps up before she fires a weapon attached to her wrist. It's like a smaller version of the weapon on the main Nova suit, and nearly as effective. The bright beam of kinetic energy hits me in my shin. I stumble forward, right into Nova's waiting knee, which knocks the wind right out of me. Now, there we go. Before the spots have left my vision, Nova hits me in the small of my back, and I'm sent sprawling to the floor.
There. You put in your minimum effort.
Yep.
Now at least, just stay down.
Yeah, that light. rapid sounds of boots against the floor, passing right by my prone form and heading to the door. By the time I've recovered enough to turn myself over, I'm alone in the room.
Damn it.
Some effort, I peel myself off the floor and slowly stand to my feet. She was taking it easy on me. She could have knocked me out right then. Her mistake. She may have a head start, but I think I can catch up on her. Kate may have superhero level conditioning, but I have the home field advantage, and she got lost several times. Well, no, she didn't get lost. That was a lie. Damn. I'm believing her lies that she was lost. No, not Kate. Shining Noah. Christ, it's going to be hard to get over this. Superheroes just aren't like the rest of us. Hardly even people. Move like mountains, and more like mountains. More like monuments, even. Big statues with shiny plaques, telling you that if you uphold your good old-fashioned values, work hard, and get a little lucky, you can be larger than life. So I spent this much time with... so to have spent this much time with one without even realizing it, well, it's jarring to say the least. Hell, I went on a heist with one! Not to mention all the flirting. I really can't stress that part enough. Yeah, sure, what flirting? I've got to put that aside for now and focus on what's in front of me. I need to catch up to Nova before she gets too far. Or it's going to be my ass. Maybe my head too. Even with the alarms blaring. Halls are mostly empty. Only a skeleton crew is up this early, and the research wing was always light on staff anyway. I jog through the halls, trying to pace myself as I frantically scan for signs of Nova. Nothing so far. If she gets held up and I don't run into any speed bumps.
Oh, hey there, buddy. There you are.
Damn you, Dave!
I heard there was an alarm at your door, so I went to your room to assign you the task of investigating it, but you weren't there. So then I thought to myself, you know, Dave, a true squad supervisor, is always thorough when it comes to his team. And that's when I decided to check on your door myself to make sure everything was A-okay. How is good old door 1385?
I don't know.
Oh, you know, it opens and closes, like doors do.
Doors do open and close, don't they?
Oh, Dave.
Wait, it opened? That door's not supposed to open.
Oh no, not at all. It was just a turn of phrase.
How do you turn a phrase?
What? No, not literally. Look, the door wasn't open, alright? It's just that most doors can open and...
Stan, door 1385 is a door with level 4 security clearance. It's not most doors. It's a special, one-of-a-kind door. Gosh, I really thought you understood that.
Damn you, Dave, and your lack of understanding things.
I do, I swear. But if it helps you feel better, you can lecture me about it later. Put it on my report, whatever. But right now, I have to go, okay?
Whoa, 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 slow down. This is a level 4 security issue, okay? I can't just let you leave, not before I check protocol.
Shining Nova is in the base. Come with me quickly. Oh, that James. That James. If only he didn't let her through the barrier at the end. Maybe he will be the saving grace. Dave reaches into one of his pouches and pulls out a small paperback book with Lord Bedlam's visage printed on the front.
Let's see. Level 4 security clearance. Door left ajar. Yep. Now says it right there, plain as day. I need to hold you here until you can be properly questioned.
But I'm pursuing an intruder.
You know what my great uncle Dale Dave said about butts? Everyone has them, and by golly, they really stink. So no butts, Stan. You're staying right here until we sort all this out.
Curses.
You know who won't have a butt or a head if we don't go after that intruder? Us.
Not according to protocol.
Not according to Lord Bedlam's protocol. Do you think Madame Scorpion is gonna give two shits what that little book has to say?
Well, she should.
But she won't.
Gosh, buddy, I don't know. You might be right about her. But if we just start ignoring protocol, what happens next? It's like a slippery domino. Once it starts, it just keeps on slipping.
I think you know how dominoes work there, Dave. My eyes and sigh, trying my best to keep it together. Even if I had an hour, I'm not sure I could convince him to drop this. At least not through any conventional kind of reasoning. I'd have to force my way past him. That's a gamble. Dave doesn't have much, let's call it, tactical instinct, but physically he could really give me a hard time. Better to avoid it if I can. Maybe I just need to try a different diplomatic approach, something more personal.
You know, with all this talk about door 1385, I'm getting a little nostalgic. You remember the conversation we had there this week? It was a simpler time.
It sure was, wasn't it? That was when you invited me to game night, right?
Well, of course I did. I couldn't leave my buddy out, now could I?
Even though we then cancelled game night.
But you left us all out, remember? You were out on your mission with Madame Scorpion.
Oh, I mean, Bedlam's orders. I mean, that is what's going to get Dave here, because he believes in Lord Bedlam himself. Alright, so Lord Bedlam's.
Lord Bedlam wanted me to. Madame Scorpion's our guest, remember? And she's a supervillain too. So as a henchman, he said it was our duty to follow her orders like his own.
I mean, that's not a lie. Because he did say that. Didn't he? Didn't he? I think he said that.
Well, that does make sense. Kind of like how it's your duty to follow your squad supervisor's orders, right?
Oh dear.
I mean, not exactly, since you can't cut me in half with a laser sword, but sure. Why
I
not?
order you to stay here?
Anyway, it's been nice reminiscing, but why don't we catch up more at lunch, okay? See you then.
Start to walk forward, but Dave holds up a hand to stop me. Damn it! Thought that might distract him enough to let me slip by, but his memory is better than I thought.
Whoa, just where do you think you're going, mister? We talked about this.
I'm trying to catch Shining Nova.
You have to wait here. It's protocol. And protocol is protocol.
I can't argue with that. Let me pass.
So you've mentioned, and I get it, man, but I really need to go. So what do you say? Will you let me pass? I'm asking you as my supervisor, and more than that, as my best buddy. Help me out here.
Stan, I want to believe that. But I'm not so sure that we are.
How can you how can you doubt my lies like that? When I can't even say the words.
Sure, when we were talking about the good time we had on Tuesday, that made sense. But that's just one thing. Overall, you haven't been very respectful lately, in my opinion. Or very nice, so when you say you're my best buddy, it makes me think that you're just trying to butter my bread.
I don't think I was horrible towards you at all during the things, although your opinion of me changed. So
Don't you mean butter you up?
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, but you're always trying to tie my words into a knot and toss them back at me. It's disrespectful. So you know what? No, I don't think you can leave. You're staying right here until I say you can go, because I'm your supervisor and you will respect me.
You can't demand that I respect you. Nobody can. And inches towards my belt, fingering the hilt of my baton.
I already told you that I can't stay, Dave. I'm leaving, one way or another. It doesn't matter if you're my supervisor or not.
I grasp my baton firmly, start to square my stance. So much for the diplomatic approach. Dave takes notice and reaches for his own weapon.
Oh, it matters, Stan. It matters more than anything.
Of course you think that. I've been patient with you, Dave. Real patient. Like a monk in purple spandex while you strut around with that big grin on your face, reminding me how you're in charge. Like your job title makes you so special. But it doesn't. When some Cape demigod crashes our little heists, you and I are identical to them. Whatever rank Bedlam may plaster on your ID, you're not above me. Not really.
Yeah, just because you're number 53 and I'm number 64, that doesn't mean you're better than me.
So when I say that I'm leaving, I don't think you can actually stop me.
Uh-oh. Pull out my baton, snap it open with a flick, and press a button on its hilt. Sparks dance around its shock coils in
But
response.
you're free to try.
Dun dun dun! Dave's eyes narrow. His grip tightens on the hilt of his own baton.
How dare you? You will refer to him as Lord Bedlam, Henchman 065.
Oh, I thought he was 64. Alright. Just like during Wednesday's operation, Dave acts without hesitation or thought. His baton has barely escaped its holster, and the words have just left his lip, yet he's already charging forward. But I knew that would happen, so when he swipes at me with his baton, I'm ready to block. Even with two hands, I stumble back. Damn! I forgot how strong he was. I mean, he's no dynamo, but for a normal guy, Dave's got some real muscles. I wince a little as my abdomen offers a painful protest. The beating Nova gave me certainly isn't helping either. He's mad. And even thinking clearly, he's not exactly a master tactician. If I can bait him in and wait for something particularly sloppy, then maybe I can catch him with a counterattack. I mean, this is all pointless. Because Shining Nova is getting away while I'm fighting you.
Surrender to the will of Lord Bedlam 065 and I'll only have your pay docked for a month. Don't make it worse for yourself.
Worse how? Would I have to spend even more time listening to stories about great-grandpappy Dean Dave Duke or the rest of your dumbass family?
Man, I am never getting Stan back on my side, am I? Not Stan, Dave. I am Stan, you know, identity crisis. Perhaps wearing a name tag wasn't such a bad idea.
It's great-grandpappy Dean Dave Dwaynesenberg and he was a saint!
Now, totally blinded with righteous fury for both Lord Bedlam and his endlessly bizarre family tree, Dave presses the attack, swinging wildly. I backpedal, parrying and blocking as best I can, but one particularly vicious swipe slips past and clips my side. It's a glancing shot, but it leaves Dave emboldened. With a triumphant cry, he surges forward in a wild charge.
Lord Bedlam!
Now's my chance! Don't have the opportunity to win a whole lot of fights, but with everything that's happened recently, I think I've picked up a move or two that might do the trick. Lift with your legs, just like Dave was suggesting at the beginning. No, feint left but attack right. That was what I did right at the beginning against Miss Dynamo. Yeah, Miss Dynamo. Well, let's copy Kate's armbar. She knows what she's doing. Maybe we can get that working properly. When we got into a scuffle during last night's gig, Kate had a pretty good clean takedown of that security guard, which is a lot less surprising now I know she's actually Shining Nova. Maybe I can copy it. As Dave swings wildly, I slip to the left and deliver a sharp front kick to his kidney, sending him careening into the wall. Then, as he bounces off the stone surface, I lunge for his arm, and have to wrestle him to the ground. It's not very clean. Instead of violently pulling him down, we simply tip over into a tangled heap.
Ah! Did you just try to put your fingers in my... Stop it! Hey!
Oh no. Ah, screw it. Unable to lock him in a proper armbar, I release Dave's appendage and activate my baton, before jamming him in the same spot I kicked earlier. Yay! He went down. For a moment he convulses, as the shock runs through his body, then at last stops moving.
How the hell does she make that look so easy?
I mean, she's a superhero. With a grunt of effort, I push the unconscious supervisor off of me, and ease myself back to my feet. I let out a deep sigh of relief. At least it worked, somehow.
Don't forget to put that ass kicking on your report, buddy.
Sure he will. I almost feel bad, but he didn't really leave me many options. Nova is getting further away with each second. If she escapes, it'll be on my head. I still have one when Scorpion is done with me. No time to dwell on it. I need to get moving. So, after taking a deep, calming breath, I start off down the hallway at a jog, leaving Dave behind. Not at a sprint. Shock stick diplomacy. Pow! Achievement unlocked. Find myself moving on autopilot, winding my way through the fortress halls without stopping to consider my location. That's a big advantage I have over Nova, even if our pace is probably faster. I would say substantially faster, not just probably. So, while it's tempting to push myself in an effort to keep up, a steady jog is probably my best bet. I mean, we are persistence predators, so maybe. I just have to hope that it's enough. After a time, I start seeing signs of her escape. Some scorch marks, a few of my unconscious comrades, eventually some distant sounds to match. Gotcha! I focus on my breathing, and I try to ignore the pain in my abdomen. I really need to be ready to go when I get there. or round 3 is liable to go even worse than rounds 1 and 2. That would be embarrassing. Hopefully Scorpion gives out points for persistence. The signs of Nova's passing grow more and more dense, but something else joins the KO'd henchmen and blast marks. Long molten scars on the floor and wall, still glowing from the heat of what made them. Oh! There we go with the energy sword. I know what that means. Still not ready for the sight that awaits me as I round the next corner as I skid to a stop. Dun dun dun! Madam Scorpion looms over, shining Nova, sword levelled and eyes gleaming in its flickering red light. Nova's mask flutters in the air between them, sliced cleanly in half, leaving her defiant glare unobscured.
Ah, there it is. That's the look I was hoping for. Such a selfish girl, hiding that behind flimsy masks and gaudy helmets. I could feel it last night, you know, even as you so futilely tried to subdue it. But resolve like that, it has a heat to it that can't be contained.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I can't wait to watch it flicker and die.
Too late.
Oh, I can't wait to blast that smug little smirk clean off your face. So I guess that makes us even.
I mean, presumably they're not actually that close, because otherwise, you know, there's a problem.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Whether or not you're adorned in your full armored ensemble, we're hardly even.
I mean, if she was in her armoured ensemble, don't you think Madam Scorpion could, like, use it? Maybe. With her cerebral super proficiency, or whatever you called it. Well, Scorpion's eyes don't appear to leave Nova. I see a flicker of recognition. The smirk grows ever so slightly.
Ah, Stanley. There you are.
I mean, okay, so presumably this goes down the same way either way. Nova will get away. If you join her, Nova gets away, and you are stopped by Dave, and you have to take out Dave, and then you get to this point where, I don't know, something happens.
Such perfect timing. It does make me wonder. What has you wandering the halls at this early hour? You don't strike me as one who rises with the sun.
We can discuss that afterwards, yeah? I have my cleaving exposed, so I'm clearly have the superior ability. Yes. I mean, obviously.
Why? Have we caught you in the midst of a morning tryst? With whom, I wonder?
No one.
Well,
Oh, don't be so bashful. You must share the details, I insist. But first, be a dear and restrain this imposter. It would be fitting, I think, for you of all people to be the one to capture Shining Nova.
Yep, if I can.
He's not going to do that.
Why not?
He isn't.
I'm not?
No, you don't have to. I still mean what I said, Stan. It's not too late. You can still change your mind. You're not just some extension of her will, or Lord Bedlam's, or anyone else's. You're not just henchman number 065, you're Stan. Your own person, with your own choices.
Damn, even you remember my number. I could have sworn I was 64. Oh well.
Then why are you trying to choose for him yourself? Kate here is just trying to manipulate you, as she has this whole time.
Maybe.
Stanley, listen to me. I've been very impressed with you, you know. You have potential. But when opportunity exposes its throat to you, you must learn to drive a dagger through it.
Sure. That's not a great metaphor that I would like to have
Do
had
not
here.
concern yourself with the fate of this charlatan or anyone else. Our ambition is what matters. That's the game of power. And make no mistake, it is zero-sum. Regardless of what these self-proclaimed heroes may tell you, for us to win, others must lose, starting with her. Show me you understand that, and we can realize our ambitions together.
Am I planning on getting all endings on screen, or just the ending I end up with? Just the ending I end up with. Just gonna play this through once. And see where we go. I don't know where we go. I don't know how long this is. I don't know how many chapters there are. I don't know, well, issues, not chapters. So, I don't know how much more of this we've got, or how little, or you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, even if I'm not saying it very well.
Go on, Stanley. Do it.
Stan, don't.
I don't know either. Exciting, isn't it? Yes, very.
I
Dithered, and allowed me to make a choice? This is it, whatever I do next. I have a feeling there'll be no going back. Alright. So I can do nothing, which, here's the... Right, if I help Madam Scorpion, then I am definitely siding with the bad guys. If I help Shining Nova, then I'm definitely siding with the good guys. If I do nothing, I mean, I am not siding with either one of them, and I am also showing that, hey, I'm still henchman because I know I can't take out a hero. Or, Madam Scorpion might just kill me anyway. I don't know. So, I mean, I could flip a coin. That wouldn't help. Alright, as I said, this is Henchman Story, and I want to stay a henchman. I don't want to go and join the heroes and be all heroic in this. So I am going to help Madam Scorpion here. I'm going to stick with the bad guys and be all evil, but maybe not full evil. Maybe some sort of low-fat evil. Maybe some sort of Lord Bedlam evil. Help Madam Scorpion. Alright. Beware. I'm about to stun shock somebody.
I'm sorry.
3 options. Flip a coin. Exactly. That is why I said flip a coin. Turn towards Kate, or rather Shining Nova, and ready my weapon.
My mind's already made up. I told you before. I can't let you leave.
Then I'm sorry too. You really are lost, aren't you? It's sad.
Well, I just want to see how this path plays out. I'll probably join you next time. Shining Nova's opinion of you has changed. I inch forward, pulling out a pair of restraints from my belt. Nova doesn't move. She barely acknowledges me, keeping her eyes on Scorpion. It's smart. Maybe the only smart play she can make. She turns her attention to me. That gives Scorpion an opening. Has to wait until the last possible second when she can use me as a shield, but she's not going to because that's not how it is. I don't think she had red eyes before either. That must be the glow from the sword here in the eyes. I gulp nervously as I get closer. Will Scorpion just cut right through me to get to Nova, if it comes to it? No, I can't dwell on that. It's what Nova's counting on. Man, this sucks. No, Nova isn't going to use me as a human shield. She's meant to be a hero, and I assume the heroes in this world are shining bright paragons of upholding the lawness, and not, like they are with gritty superheroes. Pause just outside of the arm's reach. How to do this? Quickly to catch her off guard, or slowly to keep things calm? Quickly, slowly and calmly, slowly then quickly. I'm going to do it slowly then quickly. I think that's probably got the... has she seen me do that before? Slowly then quickly. I can't remember what things I have shown her and what things I have not. So slowly then quickly. Like a statue. Slowly, I start to reach out to her wrist. As if I'm about to convince her to lower the weapon, but halfway there I suddenly speed up!
Easy. Gotcha!
So just like a cat, or a dog or something. Hey, calm down buddy. I'm not here to hurt you. Gah! Gotcha! I did in fact not have her. Exciting on-screen action! Man, I hope you can see all this amazing animation and it wasn't just a black screen for you. Nope, definitely on-screen animation. Oh well, I groan as I gingerly pick myself up off the ground, touching my side and gasping for breath. Damn, she's got some freaking sharp elbows. She's quick too. Could try that 100 times and I'd probably get laid out 99 of them. But unfortunately for Nova, that wasn't the one she had to worry about. Nova's weapon lies in smouldering bits on the hallway floor. cannon sliced off by Scorpion's blade, which is now a hair's breadth away from the shorter woman's throat. Alright.
What's wrong? Lose your nerve?
I guess we need to interrogate you for informational stuff.
Hardly. I already told you. I'm going to break that relentless spirit of yours first. I want to see it shatter.
By now, several other henchmen have finally joined us in the hallway. The Scorpion barely acknowledges them. Errors are good, so they're not PCs. I mean, they are PC, but they aren't player characters.
Now, finish what you started, Stanley. Then hand her over.
Okay. I don't know what you mean. Oh, you mean put the tie cuffs on her?
Sure. On it, ma'am.
I grimace as I pick up the restraints I dropped earlier, and then she slowly walk over to Nova. It doesn't seem like she's going to hit me. In fact, she even holds out her hands.
I meant it, you know. I'm really...
Evil!
Don't say it. Once I can handle, but any more empty apologies and I'll kick your ass again. I don't care if she kills me afterwards.
I mean, I'm not really sorry. But I'm not unsorry either.
That word doesn't mean a thing.
With Nova secure, Scorpion deactivates her weapon. Meanwhile, the other henchmen begin the process of removing Nova's equipment belt and patting her down for any hidden weapons.
People like you never win in the end, you know.
Hey, maybe we will in this one.
Oh, my dear, stubborn little friend. People like me are the only ones who win. Now, gentlemen, would you show our guests to our new room in the cell block? One with a view, if you don't mind.
A view of what? At Scorpion's behest, the other henchmen start to guide the captured superhero down the hall with a light shove. Despite their prodding, Nova's posture is straight, and her eyes forward, never once looking back.
Come then, Stanley. Let's follow along, shall we? I fear that she may try something foolish without some distant supervision.
Some distant supervision. I mean, isn't that most supervisions? That you can see a long distance? No?
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, yes, ma'am. You got it.
I match Madam Scorpion's pace as we trail far behind the makeshift prisoner convoy. I'm glad for the distance, but my eyes drift to the floor all the same. I've never had to do anything like this, not with a co-worker, especially not one I was friendly with. Things are changing fast around here. Can I keep up with it? Do I want to?
Eyes up, Stanley. There's nothing to mope about.
I'm not moping, I'm just looking down at the floor to make sure she's not dropping nanoparticles. Yeah, that's the excuse.
Sorry, ma'am. Just a long night. And a longer morning.
I know. I was there for both. Remember? Yet, despite it all, you did your job well back there.
Thank you, I guess.
In fact, you did it exceptionally. If it's true that you delayed her earlier.
As much as I could.
Don't let that self-righteous little imp guilt you into thinking otherwise. Superheroes are always such sore losers. You're making a mistake. What you're doing is wrong. You're a monster. Ugh.
Yep.
Excuses. Nothing more. Like a child who insists that anyone who beats them at a game is cheating. They can't accept it.
I guess not. And, thanks. I did my best.
I know, Stanley.
Oh dear. I mean, either you were spying or you are saying that my best is right at the bottom. We walk the rest of the way in silence. Aside from the occasional order that Scorpion barks to passing henchmen, the convoy has grown in size, and even without us there, it seems unlikely that Nova could escape. Still, Scorpion takes no chances. We follow until the henchmen finally lead Nova down the stairs that led to our cell blocks. Catch one last glimpse of her, glaring over her shoulder as he makes the final turn. Glare right back. As fast as everything's changing, Scorpion's right. I have no reason to hang my head. I did my job, that's all. Didn't ask to be involved in some superhero scheme. She had no right to ask that of me. It wasn't fair.
How secure are those cells, in your opinion?
Could she break out of them? Possibly. Maybe time to reinforce them?
For a normal person, as secure as it gets. Even if she got her door open, there's only one way in or out, provided she didn't sneak in a mining drill. This is the center of the lair, so the walls down there are solid rock.
Good.
Then let's leave the details to the guards and move this to my office. We have much to discuss.
Oh dear. Okay. Seize opportunity. Achievement unlocked. Right hand stand. Alright, I'm going to save now, just on the off chance that I press the button, or we crash, or whatever. Bow! Spectacular save data! Issue 7. It's the same. Is that the same picture as before? No, it's a different one. And there were... Oh, they're not here. Is it that one? Yeah, this is the load, isn't it? And we can see... Oh, look! Now we've got a load of ones from where we will be beating up our good old friend Dave. Alright, let's return. It's not far from the Silver Rock to Madame Scorpion's office, which, based on her prior threats, isn't coincidental. And I managed to keep my mouth shut the whole way there. The supervillain says that there's much to discuss. That means they have lots to say, and you have a lot to listen to. Especially if they just imprisoned one of your co-workers. I mean, she wasn't really one of my co-workers. She was a spy trying to infiltrate this place. That I didn't expose them because, you know, I didn't have time to do that. But I did try to say I was going to capture them and then try it. And in the meantime, I beat up Dave, which was great. No notes. Would do again. 10 out of 10.
You look tense, Stanley. Relax. Take a seat. Make yourself a drink. I'm sure I have something to your taste.
Oh, they all poisoned, though. Master assassin that you are. Shake my head politely. Not quite ready to let my guard down.
I'm fine, but thanks.
Oh, come now. You deserve to treat yourself a little, don't you think?
Probably not.
After all, you've just had your heart broken, haven't you?
What?
Oh, poor Stanley.
No.
I bet you thought that call was a romantic confession, didn't you? But no, it was just another deception. Tragic.
What makes you think I was... Was I flirting with her? I don't think I was. Not with Nova. I mean, it kept saying, hey, you were flirting with her. Maybe if I look back at the thing, I will see, yes, I was. Maybe I said I was at the time, but I don't remember that. And that wasn't what I was aiming for.
How do you know she called me?
Technopathy, or cerebral super proficiency.
Check your contact list. Scroll down to M.
Under Madame Scorpion. So anybody who's in there, anybody's phone, you can do. Oh, well. Hi, Grimace. Knowing what I'm going to find even before I pull out my phone. Yep, somehow she's added herself to my contacts without touching my phone. She did that, then she could check my call history too. Alright, yeah, but you didn't hear it.
That's how. Now, are you certain you don't want that drink?
I don't need it.
But I won't pressure you. Though not many people refuse that offer when I make it, especially in my office. Your boss didn't, certainly. He guzzled as much scotch as he could once he heard the price.
Well, there we go. That's the difference between me and him. I don't like scotch.
Well, I'm not Lord Bedlam.
And thank goodness for that.
I mean, if I was Lord Bedlam, maybe I would be a better place to work and run. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Your boss is an incompetent buffoon, Stanley. You know that. Is it really so surprising that I'd acknowledge it?
Yes. Oh, excuse me. Just savouring the flattery. Yeah, I am not an incompetent buffoon. Yeah, sure.
Nah, I'm just savoring the compliment, honestly. You may not be a sucker for flattery, but I sure am. Just keep that coming and I'll be down for whatever it is you're planning.
That's not exactly what I meant, but okay.
That's all it takes for someone to wrap you around their finger, is it? A few honeyed words and a pat on the head. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, cool.
But what is it that you think I'm planning exactly? I assume that Kate told you as much as she could discover.
Just that it had to do with your powers. Cerebral superprocessing, she called it. She said all that data we stole is being used with that big computer to enhance it or something.
Enhance the photo.
I don't know. She didn't have specifics. Is that close?
I gulp as the supervillain considers me for a long moment. Like she can see right into my brain.
Yes, that's all correct. Broadly speaking, not the worst name I've heard for it either. That little gremlin is astute. I'll grant her that. But it's not the whole picture. The truth is that machine is one of many. I'm building a global network. One that I can connect to at any time and fill to the brim with personal data.
I sure hope you can filter it better than we filter the internet, otherwise you are going to be absolutely jam-packed full of memes and GIFs and all kinds of stuff. Man, that would be horrifying.
It's nearly complete. And once it is, it would be more apt to call my abilities something like precognitive analytics.
So you're doing the thing from Winter Soldier, where you can predict who will be a problem to you. Okay, fine, whatever.
Precognitive as in, like, predicting the future? You're serious?
In a narrow capacity. I won't predict all things at all times. That's the path to madness. But say a specific market trend, or a handful of people in a combat situation.
Holy shit. No wonder Kate, Kate. Oh, right, I see. No wonder Kate, Shining Nova went to such lengths to find out about this. She's already a global power player, but with that, she'd be completely unstoppable. But why?
You're wondering why I'm telling you this. Care to guess?
Guess you need me for something? Yeah, it might be that you need it protected. Now, clearly I haven't seduced you. You're gonna kill me. Clearly you need it protected for some reason.
You need to protect it. If Shining Nova found it, others might. And the whole point of this network is that it's disconnected from you, right? So you can't always keep it safe. And you want me to be your man on the ground. Is that it?
For this particular location? Yes. Very good, Stanley. This is exactly why I chose you.
Alright.
All of my other regional uplinks have a lieutenant tasked with keeping it secret and defending it from harm. I spent the last several months handpicking them. You're the last piece, Stanley.
Haha!
Normally,
I don't know why I said
I
haha.
bring in
there.
a suitable candidate through the app. However, you met all my criteria, and you've now proven yourself loyal. You're the man for the job.
Yes, enhance.
I take it you mean loyal to you, and not Lord Bedlam.
Correct. Like all the other supervillains I've chosen, he knows nothing of my true purpose. He is too blinded by greed and delusions of grandeur.
So what are you telling people it is then, to get them on your side?
You are beholden to me and no other, and everything I tell you shall be strictly need to know. This entire operation is compartmentalized. You'll never know of the other locations or who guards them.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And if the time comes where I need to cut off a limb, you shall be the one to swing the axe.
I shall be the one to swing the axe? You mean you want me to deal with everybody else?
So, this means I'm getting a raise, right?
Yep, focus on the importance.
Oh, more than that, Stanley. All pending your acceptance, of course. That, and one final test of your mettle.
Oh, do you want me to kill Kate? Shining Nova? Whatever, whoever that person is.
Really? One more? Even after today?
One more especially because of today. You see, now that she's been rooted out, I need to have a little chat with our mutual acquaintance in the cell block. And I want you by my side for it.
Chances are I'm going to be a bit squeamish about that.
But that's for later. For now, you're free to leave. I'm sure you have much to process.
I'm sure you also have much to cerebral super process.
And I'm sure that imbecile will come barging in here any moment to blather and bluster like he owns the place.
Are we talking about Dave? Or are we talking about Lord Bedlam?
But he does. Doesn't he?
Oh, Stanley. Do you think all these supervillains pay for their lairs up front? They take out a mortgage like anyone else. And I'm the one who lends it to them.
Oh my god, capitalism, the true villain is revealed.
Now run along. You'll know when I require you.
As I exit Madame Scorpion's office, my body switches to autopilot, instinctively walking me in the direction of my quarters, even as my mind drifts in the clouds. Scorpion was right. Offer is far more than a raise, or even a promotion. It's like a new career entirely, one that's far more exclusive and profitable, and probably more short-term. She'll probably kill you eventually. What about that job I've got right now? What would Lord Bedlam do, F?
Ah, there he is! Scott, the man of the hour.
He would get my name right. Look up and find that I've nearly bumped right into Lord Bedlam himself. Hastily, I step back and offer a sloppy salute.
Sorry, Lord Bedlam, sir. I mean, thank you, I think? Which hour am I the man of?
Also, my name's not Scott.
Ha! Which hour, he asks. Oh, good old Seth, always such a card. Don't you think so, Daryl?
Yay, Dave!
Yes, sir. Like a draw 4 card in solitaire.
No such thing. I feel myself wince as Dave steps out from behind Lord Bedlam's cape. He's just looking thrilled to see me, let me tell you. Oh, he is just looking thrilled to see me, let you tell. Oh, I don't care. Just read it yourself. Somebody's definitely going to hold a grudge.
Yes, exactly. Just when we needed a handful of new cards, there was Sergio, ready to provide them. The point is, you did fine work today, number 065. We're all quite proud of you, even our esteemed guest.
I think Lord Bedlam is cleverer than he appears, because he at least knows my name begins with an S. So maybe he remembers everybody's name and then just calls them by the wrong name continually? On purpose?
Oh, Madam Scorpion? Yeah, she was just talking to me about it in her office, actually.
What? She was speaking to you about... I mean, you had a meeting in her private office? But this isn't the first time, is it? No, she's mentioned you before.
Oh, good.
Did she discuss anything else? Or anyone? You know, by chance.
I mean, she did mention you. Suddenly, Lord Bedlam has stepped uncomfortably close. I find myself leaning backwards, just to gain some distance.
Yeah, a few people. Why? Was there anything specific you were wondering?
Did she mention me?
Specific? Oh, no. Nothing in particular. Just simple curiosity. But if I were to ask for specifics, you would be obligated to tell me, of course. You are my employee. Not that the madam will tell you anything she hasn't already told me.
Of course. Reaches out, puts a firm hand on my shoulder. I go rigid as his grip tightens.
But I can see why you would hesitate to answer. You've been under a lot of stress.
I haven't hesitated to
hope
answer.
She isn't putting even more pressure on you in these meetings. She isn't, is she?
I'm gonna say no, but you know, she hasn't been. I didn't hesitate.
No, not really.
Good. It just wouldn't be fair to you, especially after such a triumphant day. You deserve to rest, to celebrate. When was your last vacation?
Take a short holiday. Did you enjoy it? Good. Back to work.
Vacation? I didn't think we had paid time off here.
Oh no, not a paid vacation, of course. More like a leave of absence, or a self-care furlough. The point is, number 065, you deserve some time for you.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure I want a vacation right now. I mean, I have bills and stuff, so...
Of course. It was just an idea. The inkling of a suggestion. You make the best decision you can for you.
The best decision for me is to still be working for you, Lord Bedlam, so I can make sure that all of your plans come to fruition. Because I'm just that dedicated a kind of guy. Why, I was just saying to good old Daryl here that I want to apply for a supervisor's position so that I could, spread all of Dean's amazing teachings here to other new up-and-coming henchmen. Yep, that's exactly what I was saying, wasn't it?
Ah, but I should be off. The madam will be expecting me. We coordinate on all our plans, you see. True partners in business and crime, her and I. Completely in simpatico.
I mean, why did you separate business and crime? Aren't they the same thing?
So you don't worry about whatever she discussed with you. Good old Lord Bedlam's got it covered. You just think about that vacation, and let me know if you ever change your mind. You know I have an open door policy, number 065. After all, we're family here, and family is there for each other, aren't they?
Nah.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
I know you will, Sven. Now come along, Dominic. There's work to be done.
Yes, sir.
Lord Bedlam continues down the hall, his cape blowing into me as he passes, but Dave lingers. It's not a billowing cape, it's a blowing cape. Alright, fine.
You should really think about that vacation, Stan. I think it'd be good for you.
Really? But you were the one who fell asleep on the job.
Grumbling to himself, Dave follows after Lord Bedlam, somehow bumping into me as he passes, despite there being no one else in the hallway. That's just vindictive. I sigh and rub my eyes. What the hell was that? It felt like he was threatening me, but I couldn't tell if it was because he knows about Scorpion's offer or he's just jealous that she's giving me more attention. God damn, what's gotten into this place lately? Why am I caught in the middle of it? I need time to think, to process. It's still early. Maybe I have enough time to grab a quick nap in my room before morning assembly? Are we even doing that today? Man, I don't even know anymore. By the time I reach my room, I'm exhausted. Physically, mentally, emotionally. The works. What a morning. No, what a week. With a sigh, I flop down on my bed and stare at the cold metal ceiling.
I didn't sign up for this. Damn it, Kate. Why did it have to be you?
Kate, turning traitor. Never expected it. Now Scorpion expects me to help with the interrogation. Even if Kate's really shining Nova. To me, she's been a co-worker, a friend. How much of that was a lie? You've known her 3 days? No, it was real. It was real, I'm sure of it. Honestly, she was more than a friend in some ways. At least, that's where it felt like it could be going until I threw it away. No, none of that. It turns out that this was just the tip of the iceberg today. Now I'm caught between my boss and one of the most dangerous people on the planet in a deadly game of supervillain office politics. On top of everything else, I fought my direct supervisor. I mean, I don't exactly regret it, but yikes, man. Why me, huh? I'm only a hired hand. Before Wednesday, this was just a simple, if often painful, paycheck. Now it's all too much. It's way too freaking much. Okay, so we've had Wednesday, and then we had Thursday where we were just guarding the door, and we had Friday, which was a day, and then we had the supervillain app thing. So that's 3 days. And then on the 4th day, we have now, in the morning of the 4th day, Kate has revealed herself to be Shining Nova. It's been 4 days, and we've known Kate for 3 of those days. I mean... Maybe Lord Bedlam's weird, passive-aggressive suggestion of a vacation has some merit after all. Could just leave right now and let all these superpowered people deal with their own problems. It would have to be more than a vacation, though. After what Madame Scorpion revealed to me, there's no way she'd just let me take off without repercussions. I have to hide out somewhere beyond her sight. Still, the thought is tempting, leaving behind all those tough decisions and chaotic quagmires behind, just walking away.
If I do it, it would have to be now, before anyone could take notice. But I could do it.
Oh, so... Alright, I think maybe we're going to get two endings on this. Because if I can... we're going to save it right here. And then, we're just going to walk away and quit. And I'm going to say that, and I hope this is just a immediate ending. Right? Maybe some words there, but not you're going off on an entirely different path of this thing. I'm just going to walk away and quit. And so we'll have this ending, and then we'll have... and then I'll reload it and do Stay in the Lair.
Yeah. Screw this. I'll just walk away. Wash my hands of it.
Shoot up from the bed, suddenly alive with nervous energy. This must be the flight part of that fight or flight reflex people talk about. Hurriedly, I start scurrying around the room. Pack light stand. You're going to need to move. Some plain clothes, my remaining snack stash, toiletries, anything personal? Scan the room, but all my eyes land on is my diploma. Instead of memories of riches and state, though, it's Kate I think of. Talking about our degrees, joking about my shitty poetry. Frown and shake my head. Why'd she have to put me in that position? Now I'm left with no other choice. I leave the diploma, and a minute later I zip up the duffel bag I've been stuffing my belongings into. Okay, that's as good as I'm going to get. Anything else? Did I forget my phone charger? Actually, pull my phone from my belt and stare at it. I need to leave it behind. No doubt Scorpion will be able to find me immediately if I take it along. Wonder if she'll be surprised. She seemed ready to trust me, but she had to know I'd react this way with her analytics and everything. Hopefully that tempers her vengeance a little. But that seems unlikely. Quickly set up my phone to stream my favourite playlist and then toss it on my bed. Maybe that'll help serve as a distraction. I don't know. Regardless, it's barely hit the sheets before I reach the door. Shit, I feel like I'm sweating right through my uniform. Every shadow or distant footstep is making me twitch. I try my best to avoid all the cameras, but I still expect Madame Scorpion to appear. Maybe my choice of exits will throw her off. Front gate is way too visible, but there are a few hidden manual exits scattered throughout the lair in case of emergency or power outage, including the one in the game room. One is behind the kitchen. That's even riskier than the front gate right now. There is here. As the door closes behind me, I let out a sigh of relief.
Okay, home stretch. Now let's just get you out of the way. Come on.
With some effort, I pushed one of the arcade cabinets aside, revealing a small hatch behind it. Perfect. I never thought I'd use this exit in a hurry because of how far away it was, but not many people know about it. So it'll take them forever to figure out how I left. Should buy me a little time. No, it won't take them forever to find it out at all, because they'll come into the break room, they'll go, oh, that arcade cabinet has been moved. They'll go and look, and they'll go, oh, there's a hatch behind here. Am I really doing this? This is a forever kind of decision. It's going to change the course of my whole life. Granted, I may not live all that long if I stay, but I'll be leaving everything behind, and everyone. Madame Scorpion sees something in me. I'll never know what it is if I go through. Lord Bedlam and Chief Antone will be pleased, though. I forgot about the chef, sorry, not Chief. Antone will be pleased to be rid of me, and Bedlam would have Scorpion's full attention. Or so he thinks. It might be nice to stay just despite them, but the risk...
Whatever I do, there's no going back from it. But I've got to make the call. Cut bait and just lay low for a while, or take a chance and stick it out.
Cut bait. Leave the lair, quit.
Nope, screw it. I'm out.
Oh, screw it, I'm out. I quit. Yes, I've done that once or twice. Down the latch and open the door. Only darkness lies before me, as expected. The games room isn't next to the surface, so I'll need to go through a tunnel first, but then I'll be gone. Finally, I put all this craziness behind me. Not just from the last week, but my whole career. No more getting beat up, no more superheroes, no more supervillains, just the open road. Kind of exciting, actually. As I step into the tunnel and close the door behind me, I know it's the right one. Issue 8, the road untaken. It's a sunny day for a change, a welcome relief after all that rain. That's what I expect, isn't it? Winter's here are light on snow, but in exchange you get a wet season that lasts most of the year. I knew that when I settled in. Settled in, that's a bit of a stretch. All this time and I'm still relying on the rain for water. Sure, it's my best option without the equipment to dig a well or access to a pipeline, but I still feel like I'm just camping. Not that I was ever much of a camper in the first place. Maybe if I was, I'd catch more fish.
Nothing. Ugh, lost the worm, too. And here I was so excited when I found this stupid pole.
I sigh and throw the fishing pole over my shoulder. No bites. Snares were empty again. I'm going to have to break into another cabin, aren't I? Can't keep pushing that. People only buy that it was a bear so many times. Plus, comically speaking, I'm basically asking for a real bear to return the favour on my end. Well, I've still got a little good karma left, right? I can squeeze in one more. If I stuck around with Madam Scorpion, I'd be doing way worse stuff on the daily. So it'd be weird to feel guilty about a few victimless B&Es, wouldn't it? Check my belt, make sure I've got my tools, and then head east. It's a pretty nice A-frame in that direction. That's looked promising, if I recall.
Alright, what do we got here? Oh no, are those kale chips?
Take 'em anyway, man. That's all you got.
Ugh, this is gonna be one of those, isn't it? Damn it, I was really hoping for a big boxes of cheesy poofs kind of dude. Wait, what was that? Oh, here we go.
Even with the small wagon I found, it's a struggle to carry everything. I'm driven by adrenaline. No can of soup will be left behind, damn it. Still can't believe my luck. Cabin must have belonged to some kind of doomsday nut, because there was a whole treasure trove of canned and dried food stashed away under the kitchen floor. Finally, lucky break. After months and months of hiding out in these damned woods, I deserve a pinch of good fortune, don't I? Oh, you're gonna get eaten by... Are you gonna get poisoned by a scorpion now? Pause for a moment, wiping the sweat from my forehead, staring out at the landscape.
I wonder what I'd be eating right now if I'd stuck around, assuming I survived. More baloney? Well, unless...
Glanced back at my hole. No way Madam Scorpion would have tolerated Chef Antonio's crap. She was probably getting served filet mignon or whatever. Still is, I imagine.
And here I am, getting excited over beans and soup.
Lovely can of beans, maybe with some sausages in there already, on some toast. Yeah, I could go for that. The assumption about my survival was a big one. Between Scorpion, Lord Bedlam, and the superheroes, the odds wouldn't have been good. Truth is, I'd probably be eating out of a straw if I could eat at all. And yet, if I had navigated the supervillain politics, if I had stayed in Madam Scorpion's good graces...
No, come on. You're not built for that. You wouldn't have lasted a month.
Yep. I shake my head and grab hold of the wagon. Don't be stupid, Stan. You had a chance of getting filet mignon yourself. Oh, getting filleted yourself, than eating filet mignon. Can't dwell on the what-ifs. Besides, canned franks are almost the same thing, right? Or that's what I tell myself as I resume my march back to camp, dragging the wagon behind me. Time I return, I'm dog-tired, and the sun is setting on the horizon. Bedlam, still at large. Oh. And my face is conveniently blocked by this tree. So nobody, you could be anybody. I lean back in my tattered lawn chair, chewing on a piece of canned tortellini. It's rubbery and the sauce is like red water, but it's edible. Plus, my TV has a signal. And no one tried to assassinate me today. Could be worse. Could be worse. It's been the name of the game for nearly... How long has it been now?
Following claims from a former broker that the stock's recent surge was the work of a black market conglomerate, but federal investigators claim no evidence was found.
Looks like Madam Scorpion got her thing.
Yet rumors persist, with conspiracy theorists blaming everything from the Illuminati to a mythical scorpion demon, which they tied to the alleged suicide of an SEC official in March.
Oh.
And 1 year after the sudden disappearance of Shining Nova, supervillain activity continues to surge in the Pacific Northwest, with scenes like this becoming all too common.
You fools! You dare try to charge the great Lord Bedlam $45 for a USB dongle? A dongle?
Yep.
Perhaps you could have gotten away with such travesties before, but with the unlimited power of the Henchman app, I have an infinite army of mostly, almost loyal followers at my disposal. Now you shall dangle your dongles no more! No more, I say!
Yep, Lord Bedlam seems the sort of person to get annoyed at his dongle.
Henchman is available for download on qualifying mobile devices. Data restrictions apply.
Change the channel before I lose my appetite. After clicking through my After clicking through my limited options, settle on a home improvement show that soon fades into background noise. Try not to dwell on the report, but it's eating at me too much. Keep thinking back on that last conversation one Scorpion and I had in our office. Did I blow it? Did I just abandon my career right before it was about to take off? Clearly everything's going her way. Would I have even wanted that kind of success given the cost? Whatever happened to Nova, could I have lived with playing a part in it? Maybe I already did play a part. Do I still share the blame, even if I reap none of the rewards? No, I can't think like that. If I let myself wallow in those kinds of thoughts, I'll drown. And that's not who I am. Even Scorpion saw that. I'm a survivor.
Don't think about it. Just get through each day and survive. That's all you can do.
It's all any of us can do. Set the can of food aside and reach for a handle of cheap whiskey, perched upon a small log that I use as my side table. Take a swig, wincing at the burning sensation, lean back in my chair. The sun has lit the sky ablaze in a wave of yellows, reds, and purples, rising up from the tree tops. Soon it will darken. The stars will come out, one after another, in intricate patterns, all across the night sky. They look beautiful out there, far away from civilization, where nothing can dilute them. But beyond the aesthetics, what the stars mean to me is that I made it through another day. Sun rises, I work. When the sun sets, I'm still here, still alive, still existing. Heroes, villains, and even henchmen are out there struggling over one thing or another. Maybe some of it's important. Who can say? Certainly not me. I'm just an observer now, lounging on the sidelines. It's not so bad, I guess. There's no pressures here. No imaginary ladder to climb. No supposed potential to fulfill. I mean, let's be honest. I was never going to do either of those things. No one on Earth was going to look back and talk about what a fine henchman Stan was. I was always just going to be a footnote in a more important person's story. I was always just going to exist. It's out here. I can stop struggling and enjoy the sunset. Maybe that's for the best. The end. The final panel achieved and the Road Untaken achievement achieved.
I'm always walking, but I never seem to move.
Well, we're going to skip the credits here and go back to the beginning because I don't want to spoil that. I want to load up issue 7 again. And this is where we stay in the lair. We'll go back and we'll... I wonder if we're always walking... Hold on, take me back to the main menu. Yes, I'm okay to go back to the main menu. I wonder if I'm always walking is a... like an extra bonus song? Oh, I want music. No, this is just... the end. Life story ending theme. Can we fast forward it? No, okay. It stays there. I just wondered. No, that's not what I wanted. I want that one. I just wondered because, you know, it was I'm always walking. And, you know, we had opted out of the life so that we are always walking on. So I just wondered if it had a second. Alright. Issue 7. Let's go. This time we're going to stay in the lair and try and make the best of a bad situation. As I wake up from a beautiful dream where I left this place and I was, you know, out on my own, pretending to be a bear in the woods. I had a camper, so I wasn't entirely a bear, but, you know, Let's see what we got here.
No, that wouldn't get me anywhere. Don't be stupid. I need to see this through.
Yeah, let's see it through. Roll over in my bed and close my eyes. Just need to rest a little. Let my thoughts settle. Leaving would be rash. Have to go totally off the grid for months or years. Excuse me, maybe forever. It'd be crazy. Just recharge and try to get yourself through the day. Maybe it'll all make sense tomorrow. Issue 8? Nope, okay, back in this one. Even after my nap, the rest of the day crawls along at the snail's pace. Lord Bedlam called off today's morning assembly, so I skipped breakfast and rolled into the weapons depot late. No one seemed to notice. Dave wasn't even there, and instead of taking inventory, I spent most of the morning checking my phone. No texts or calls, even when we finally broke for lunch. Well, who's going to call you, Kate?
How long is she gonna leave me hanging? Damn it.
Are we talking about Madam Scorpion? Shoved my phone back in my belt. I know I'm being impatient, but come on, you can't drop a mysterious hint about a final test, then keep me in suspense for half a day. Have you checked the Henchman app? Oh, there's your stomach. Pat my grumbling stomach as I make my way to the cafeteria. Oh no, is it going to be more baloney? Though I wonder whether it's hunger or preemptive protest. Baloney just ain't going to cut it today, I can tell you that. There's not much of a line. When I get to the cafeteria, we have the late lunch on Saturdays, and I can already see that pickings are slim. Oh, Antonio's really going to rub it in today, I can feel it. I clench my jaw as I approach the front of the line. Part of me is tempted to just drop the pretense and start shouting at him to get it over with. But before I can...
Well, if it ain't Stan, it's Stan the man, as I always like to say. Good afternoon to you.
Oh, because I captured Shining Nova. You're being all nice to me, and you're calling me Stan the man now. But you can't call me that. I'm not Stan Lee.
Good afternoon. Are you okay, Chef Antonio?
Never been better. Why would you ask? Can't you see I'm my normal, positive, and respectful self?
Those words shouldn't be coming out of your mouth in that order.
You know, I've just noticed, or I noticed as he was doing this thing, that if you look down here at the noughts and crosses, that is an impossible game. I mean, I'm not surprised that somebody cheated, but I don't know which of you cheated. Because there are 3 X's, and they have formed a row, and then there are 4 O's. That's impossible. You should never have. Well, if the X's, if the O started, no, it's impossible. That's a definitely impossible game. You cannot have a 3-4 combination like that. Not where the 3 wins. You can have a 3-4 combination where the 4 wins. But anyway, come on, Chef Antonio, give it to me, as I'm Stan the man.
Oh, they shouldn't. Oh, my deepest apologies. Grammar ain't my strong suit. You know that, Stan, old pal.
Lean forward, squinting at Antonio as hard as I can.
What in the world is happening?
You've got your just desserts. And you could just have desserts from now on if you wanted from Chef Antonio.
Is there something on my face, too? Sorry, you know how messy these kitchens can be. Well, what would you like for lunch today, Stan the man?
One of his eyes is permanently closed for some reason. Is he winking at me?
You mean I actually have more options than baloney?
Why, of course you do! You see, I was told by Madam Scorpion herself to give you access to the secret supervillain menu!
Secret menus. Ah, now everything makes sense. Not surprised. I mean, I knew Scorpion talked about this being more than a raise, but that lady works quick.
Today, your options are shrimp risotto, a fresh Waldorf salad, or our signature Wagyu beef burger.
I mean, I guess I'll take the beef burger, but I mean, I'm not all that sold on any of those options. Yeah, I'll have the burger. Yeah.
I I would adore a burger, but do make sure the beef is both properly wagged and yewed. It just doesn't taste right if you have one, but not the other.
That's not what Wagyu. I mean, no problem.
I was making
we
a
always
joke.
wag and you all of our beef. Just like I learned during all those years I wasted in culinary school.
Before long, I'm making my way to my seat, with my real, actual food in hand, and a smile on my face. Ah, so much better than, breaking into a camper van and stealing beans and soup. Anyway, it takes all my self-restraint not to skip, not to devour it all in seconds once I'm seated.
This is surprisingly good. You mean this asshole could actually cook the whole time?
So this is what it's like being in Madame Scorpion's good graces can get you, eh? This is what being in Madame Scorpion's good graces can get you, huh? I won't lie, I could really let myself get used to it. The only downside of eating all that food was that it didn't leave my breath in a good spot afterwards, so now I find myself in the locker room, brush in hand, as I peer into the mirror.
What a weird day. My schedule's all out of sync.
Yeah, it is. Is Dave going to ambush you here now?
This is how it should have started, like usual. I brush my teeth, then I run into...
I'm not going to click it. First of all, I'm going to say, thank you for sticking around. You go and dream of Wagyu beef. Or, anything else you want to dream of. You can dream of being a supervillain or living in the outskirts of a civilization and not committing to capitalism. You can do that as well, or you can just simply have a dreamless sleep. Anything that you want. Alright, am I going to run into Dave? It's Dave! Hey, Dave.
God, what the hell, man? Where'd you even come from?
Madame Scorpion's office. She sent me to find you. Said you're supposed to meet her there in 25 minutes.
Thank you, Dave.
She also told me that I need to apologize for earlier.
I'm not going to shit all over you, Dave. I'm not that guy.
While protocol is important, it is more important to react to changing circumstances and adapt your methods, and I did not recognize it. Tell Stanley exactly that, and then ask if that apology is good enough for him. Do not leave until he accepts it. That's what she said.
Apology accepted. I don't need you groveling. Man, look. You were trying to do what you thought was best, and you didn't realize the situation. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, excuse me, I have to go and do a meeting before I get killed by Madame Scorpion for being 3 seconds late. So, excuse me.
Apology accepted, Dave. Thank you. It's big of you to admit that you were wrong.
Sure. No problem. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Hardly, Dave marches out of the locker room, as if he's fighting the urge not to scurry away like a timid little mouse. Jeez. First Antonio, now Dave? I could really get used to this. Yeah, come to me to apologize. I almost can't believe it. Everything here is suddenly turning on its head. In the best possible way, and all because I've earned Madame Scorpion's favor. I'd really bet on the right horse this morning. It's been less than a day, and my life already feels like it's getting better. No way Shining Nova could have offered me that, right? Stop dwell. Oh, jeez. Speaking of Nova, I really need to get going. Can't be late to a meeting with Scorpion, especially after that display. I meant to get in a quick shower too, but that'll have to wait. I guess I will just have to stink. Which is fine, I guess. We can't all be nice smelling people.
Alright, game face.
Game face indeed. I don't know how you would game face this, but alright. Try my best to look stoic and intimidating, but my reflection stubbornly refuses to comply.
It'll do.
Well, okay, fine. 24 minutes later, I'm standing in front of the door to Madame Scorpion's office. Eyes closed as I take a moment to prepare myself. Shit, it's my third time being invited here, but my nerves still feel frayed. That won't ever go away, will it? There's always been that sense of danger with her. It's just a matter of whether or not I embrace it.
Ma'am, you asked to see me?
Right on time. Come in, Stanley, and get the door behind you.
Will do. Madame Scorpion is standing behind her desk when I enter. She's studying the rapidly changing charts on her many displays. She turns around as the door closes, giving me her full attention.
My, don't you look reinvigorated? I take it you got my gift? That slovenly chef crumbled in record time.
Ah, thank you. It was great. A flower's too bland. Those weren't gifts. Gifts or investments.
So that was a gift and not an investment? Or was it both?
The latter, of course. When your time is as valuable as mine, everything is an investment. But if you're asking whether I value you personally or professionally, I say, why not both?
Cool.
That's
I
your
guess.
whole axiom, isn't it? Why can't I have it all?
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, why can't I? And if I can have it all, then you can too. Should you pass this final test, of course.
Oh no, what's the final test?
Ah, right. The test. You mean the interrogation.
Dun, dun, dun.
If you want to take the fun out of it, it's such a cold, mechanical word for something so alive, so intimate. We're going to pry open the mind of a superhero today, Stanley, by way of her heart.
You're not gonna threaten me and start hurting me and like she's gonna give in because she thought that we could have had something because she liked me. Because I've turned on her utterly and brutally. She doesn't like me that way, and, or like me that much anymore, and I never thought of her that way either. So, I'm not sure.
Right. The
If
Yeah.
you want to take, and you're the key.
Something happened there again.
You're the thing that will make her defenses crumble and her secrets known.
Ow. I don't like the sound of this.
how do you figure that? This seems more like your thing, so...
And that's exactly why it will work. It's a classic approach. I'll start things off, then at my signal, you'll make your grand entrance, and she'll latch right onto you. A lifeline in her most fragile moment.
I mean, I don't want to poo-poo your idea, but I think it'd be better if it was Dave. I mean, she's not going to respond to me. You know that, right? She doesn't like me anymore.
She'll try to appeal to your better nature.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah, maybe she will do that.
Let her. You'll barely have to lie. She'll do most of that herself. Let her think you want to help her.
What makes you think she'll go for it?
Don't you see how she looks at you? She admires you, Stanley.
Nah, she doesn't admire me. She thought she had found somebody who she could turn away from the bad side.
In all things but matters of morality, Shining Nova is paranoid and prone to over-preparation. She no doubt has several backup plans in the event of her capture.
I mean, it didn't seem like that when you were ruling the world in that alternate time, in my dream.
But give her the chance, and she will choose the one that involves you. I'm certain. When she does, we will use it against her.
I really don't think she's that enamored of me, man.
She believes that she can
Lady?
turn you to her
Ma'am?
side.
Whatever.
That she can change who you are. It will be her undoing.
Alright, okay.
And who am I really, in your opinion?
We'll find that out, won't we? This is your final test, after all.
with slow, graceful steps, the supervillain slinks out from behind her desk and steps towards me. Resists the urge to retreat, even as she stops just a few breaths away.
Do this for me, this last little thing, and I will know your nature.
I see the abyss in those golden eyes again, beckoning me to embrace it as they inch closer.
Have you survived so long as a henchman because you're pragmatic, or because you're lazy? When the perfect opportunity lies before you, can you abandon your mercy and seize it?
Probably. Quicker than I can react, she reaches out and places my chin between her thumb and forefinger.
Answer that for me, Stanley. I have my hypothesis, but I must know it absolutely. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, thanks. I get it, it's all data. Nope. Kinda, you're distracting. I'm not... I'm hoping this isn't a romantic option, because I want to be like, oh, you are very distracting, I cower before you.
Kinda. You're just a little distracting right now. But that's on purpose, isn't it?
Why, whatever do you mean?
This is the flattery thing, the pat on the head and being good. I told you that.
Well, your hand isn't lingering because you forgot it was there.
So she gives my chin a light push, tilting it back, as if to examine the side of my face.
No, it's not. But how do you know I'm not just getting one last look at a lamb that's ripe for the slaughter?
I don't. She leans in just a hair, the corners of her lips twitching upwards in a twisted smile. And I tense. She knows full well that I don't. But though the abyss threatens to swallow me whole, it cools all the same.
You don't look away anymore. How interesting.
With a smirk, she lets her hand fall away. She walks right past me, headed for the door.
Now let's be off, shall we? No sense dawdling at the water's edge. It's time for you to sink or swim.
I offer an affirmative nod and move to follow. I'm suddenly reminded of an old fable about a scorpion and a frog, but I quickly try to forget it. In the end, I'm pretty sure they both drown. I mean, I could make both of us drown somehow, I suppose. I'm pacing now, slowly walking back and forth in front of the entrance of the cell block, phone in hand. I'm sure I'm driving the guards nuts, but it's been a long time since Madam Scorpion entered. I glance at my phone, still nothing. Maybe the signal's bad down there? Does that even affect her? Probably, right? Even a supercomputer brain Wi-Fi has to connect somehow. I stop pacing and turn to one of the guards.
Hey, we have cameras down there, right? Do any have microphones? You know, so I could listen in or something. Just so I know what I'm walking into.
Guard shakes his head, and I shrug. Interesting. So if Scorpion leaves us alone down there, she'll be able to see us, but she won't know what we're saying. Okay. Just then, my phone buzzes, and I see a text message with a single word. Now!
All right. Showtime.
Take a deep breath and descend down the stairs. Thank Lord Bedlam for his mercy. No excuses. You know what you did. Love those posters. Cell block in Lord Bedlam's fortress. Doesn't get a lot of use, and it shows. Everything is coated in dust, and it smells like a long forgotten basement. I can see one figure standing tall in front of the cell, several spots down from the entrance. I can't spot a second. I do see a small shadow peering out from within it. My steps echo, and the person outside my cell turns in my direction. The shadow doesn't move.
Ah, Stanley. Now isn't this a pleasant surprise? Come to check on our guest?
I prefer different music than the kind of jaunty, upbeat music we've got here for this locale, but alright. As I step into view, the cell's occupant tears her gaze from the ground at her feet. Shining Nova, or as I knew her these past few days, Kate. There are no cuts or bruises on her face, but she winces after turning in my direction. Hand moves to her side, and she leans back against the wall.
Stan, you look well.
Turn to Scorpion, brows furrowed. Nova might be reaping what she sowed here, but that doesn't mean I want to see her in pain.
Lord Bedlam sent me. He wanted someone in purple down here during the interrogation. To keep him informed.
I mean, Kate's in purple. Couldn't she have done it?
Of course he did. He always does have to remind everyone whose lair this is, doesn't he? It makes you wonder who he's trying to convince. It reminds me of you, my little saboteur.
Are you talking about me? Am I your little saboteur? Or are you talking about her? I guess you're talking about Kate. Or Shining Nova.
You think I'm like Lord Bedlam? That's rich.
Aren't you? You both lie to yourselves. The difference is, your lie is one of righteousness instead of ego. As an example, Stanley, would you come a little closer? I need you for a demonstration.
You're gonna break my fingers so that she goes, ah, no, don't.
Me? Oh, I'm just here to observe, so...
Scorpion, leave him alone. This is just between you and me now.
Supervillain ignores Nova's protest and waves me over. Even knowing that we're on the same side, I hesitate. But step forward, leaving us just a few feet apart.
Oh no, he's very much involved. You made sure of that when you picked him as your mark. Unfortunately, you chose poorly. In the end, you saw through her deception, didn't you, Stanley?
No. I mean, yes, obviously.
Yeah, I guess I did.
And I was so proud of you for doing so. Yet...
See Madame Scorpion's hands start to fall to her hip. Nova spots it too. And despite the obvious pain, she quickly steps towards the bars.
You're still tainted by her influence.
Uh-oh, you're gonna kill me. I mean, I know that you're not going to.
Scorpion, stop!
Your actions can't be trusted.
Whoa! What? But I did my job just like I was supposed to. No, wait, this is the part I act, right? This has to be part of the act. Raise my hand slowly, inch backwards, eyes fixated on the deadly weapon that's now aimed at my heart.
Wait, hold on. I'm not tainted, I swear. Totally untainted. Absolutely 100% taint-free.
If Scorpion thinks I am tainted, then perhaps Nova can get through to that taint. Let's not use that term. Perhaps Nova can get through to the righteousness that she's instilled in me, the bit of me that is still questioning whether I should be working for Scorpion or not.
I wish I could believe that, Stanley. I really do.
By now, Nova has rushed up to the cell bars, her movements frantic.
He's telling the truth. I can never get him to budge, I swear.
Madame Scorpion doesn't listen. Instead, she raises her sword.
Enough! Scorpion!
And this is how it could have ended for him.
In a casual twirl, the supervillain returns the deactivated weapon to her belt, and I let out a sigh of relief. Yep, all part of the master plan. You know, the whole time, never had a doubt in my mind. Well, maybe one doubt. One and a half.
But you didn't think about that, did you? How you were risking his friendships, his career, and even his life. Luckily, he made the right decision and rejected you.
I mean, this doesn't... Okay, you think this is causing her to doubt herself even more?
In more ways than one.
Looking away from the woman in the cell, the supervillain slinks right up to my side. Before I know it, one hand is sliding across my chest, while the other snakes slightly around my waist. Go completely rigid. The heat rising on my face and a lump forming on my throat. This woman, does she want me to murder me, seduce me, or just tie my brain into knots? At least I can take solace in the fact that Nova's flushed complexion and uncomfortable squirming mean that yes, she has this effect on literally everyone.
And once he did, I dare say his prospects have already improved. Wouldn't you say so, Stanley?
I didn't get bologna for lunch. You know how big a deal that is for me, Kate?
There's a... There's been a few perks, I guess.
Just a few. You weren't so understated earlier.
Yes, I guess so. Scorpion lifts her leg and leans in further, letting her thighs brush against mine and pressing herself against my shoulder. Her head tilts towards mine. When she speaks, I feel her breath dance on my neck. Now, this is all part of the mind game she's playing with Nova, but isn't this just a little much?
Perhaps a reenactment is in order.
Yeah, we could do that. I sure could go for some of those buns again, yeah.
Seriously screwed up, you know that? I mean it, there's something fundamentally wrong with you.
Well, of course. It's part of my charm.
Frustrated, Nova pushes herself back from the bars and resumes her position against the cell wall, glaring daggers at the supervillain.
Whatever. If you're going to kill me or take off the torture kitty gloves, then get on with it. But if you're just going to gloat and fillet yourself, don't waste your breath. You're not even good at it.
So defiant. Oh, we're going to have such fun together, I can tell. But that will come later. And never fear, the gloves will come off.
Well, there we go. With slow, deliberate grace, Scorpion releases me from her clutches and pulls away. She lets her fingers draw a trail across my chest as she retreats, as if she's signing her name. Again, Nova squirms in spite of herself, and I hear a low, satisfied laugh escape Scorpion's lips.
My attention is expensive, and I've spent enough on you for now. However, if you must posture for someone, I'm sure Stanley would prove to be a suitable audience, wouldn't you, Stanley?
Yeah, sure. What? I don't. I nod, grateful. Grateful that we've reached a part of the plan that I'm not familiar with, but doesn't involve any threats on my life.
Good. Then I'll take my leave. But do remember, I'm never really gone.
Neither Nova nor I dare to speak as Madame Scorpion departs. Only when the echoes of her footsteps fade completely do I stop, holding my breath.
Torture kitty gloves? You shouldn't tempt her like that.
Oh, like you care.
Get out of here with the concern, man.
Exactly.
You think this is the first time I've dealt with this kind of thing? I can handle it.
Meh, okay.
When she said that she's never really gone.
My eyes flick to the camera that's looking at her cell. I'm careful not to turn in its direction. I shrug and step a little closer to the bars.
Video only. Lord Bedlam doesn't get much use out of the cell block, if you can believe it. So everything down here's been a little neglected.
So I guess this is how it always turns out, with you always being captured. Yeah, there's no option for you to actually escape. And at this point, we would spring into our heroic plan somehow. I point at her accusingly and frowned for effect.
Now pretend I'm upset with you and turn your back to the camera.
No, she doesn't have to pretend, but alright. Never huffs and does just that. A natural actress, but I knew that already. Undercover, it does require some of the skills of an actor, but not all of them. I'm not sure if Scorpion will approve of this move, but if she wants Nova to trust me, I have to get the superhero to let her guard down. She'll never do that if she thinks someone can read our lips.
Speaking of Lord Bedlam, he didn't send you down here, did he?
What makes you say that?
I know you better than you think. So, why are you really down here?
I came on my own. Scorpion, of course. Well, here's the thing. You know me better than you think, so if I lie, are you gonna know that I lied? Well, I came on my own.
I came on my own. I wanted to see how you were doing.
I lie, maybe even a manipulative one. I need her to trust me right now. Turnabout's fair play, after all.
Well, now you've seen me. Congrats. Your conscience is cleared. Feel free to go cash your paycheck now.
Cool. Thanks, bye.
Hey, come on. I really was worried.
Yeah, I was really worried about my paychecks.
You're not being fair. You think I wanted any of this?
And what do you want exactly?
Go for some more Wagyu beef.
Because I think that's bullshit. This is exactly what you wanted. You said you were going to stop me. Well, guess what? This is the result. But go ahead. Talk yourself out of feeling responsible. That's all it is. Talk.
I don't feel responsible.
Of course it's all talk. You know what else is all talk? This idea that I could have done anything more for you that wouldn't have ended in my immediate freaking execution. You saw her just now. She was, what, half a second away from killing me? I'm walking the razor's edge in flip-flops over here.
Ava glares at me for a moment, like she wants to offer a rebuttal. But in the end she sighs, rubs her temples. She looks exhausted.
Yeah, I saw. Are you okay?
Oh, you know, just a little trauma, nothing major. I really thought she was gonna do it for a second, though.
Me too. It would have been just like her to hurt you to get to me. Even after you sided with her. That coward.
Eyes flick to me and she turns her head just slightly to check the camera. Then, hesitantly, she steps over to the bars, careful to keep her face out of view of the camera.
I may be disappointed in you, but I don't want to see you hurt either, you know.
I don't want to see me hurt either.
I mean, maybe just a shot in the kidney or something, but nothing worse than that.
I already took a shot to the kidney. From, Dave. Did I tell you? I fought Dave. I beat Dave down. It was glorious. Man, you should have been there to see it.
Just answer me something. Tell me that you two haven't actually, you know.
I don't know what you...
Oh, no. That was just,
The buns I were talking about were for Wagyu beef burgers.
Scarring, that's what that was. I'm sending you my therapy bill when I get out of here, for real. That was some serious creepy exhibitionist couple energy, and I hate it.
well, we're not a couple, so don't worry. That was just, well, you've met her.
Not that I haven't considered the possibility, but so far it's just been a lot of sexual tension and threats on my life. Probably shouldn't bring the former up either, though.
Christ, supervillains are so weird.
Superheroes aren't that much better. You're weird as well.
But if you're not together, then I have to ask.
I really wish that this had been done... I really wish that we had had the bars in between us. Yeah, I would like to, for this, I guess you would have had to have done a painting of the background. And then a separate painting of the bars. And then you could layer them. And have her reacting behind the bars. But anyway, you're not asking together, then I have to ask. She twirls her hair around her finger, contemplating. I know what she's about to ask, but neither of us are ready for the answer.
I know this is a stupid thing to ask under the circumstances, but no matter what happens, I need to know. Was there something real there? With you and I?
I have... What was there? Hey game, maybe I did in the first part and I've just forgotten because it's been 5 days since I was doing it, but I don't remember like explicitly going, hey, I flirt with you. Yes, lie, no. Oh.
Honestly, no. I don't think there was.
Right, of course not. I was just curious, you know.
I saw you as a
I'm
friend
unsure
and
where
somebody I
that
could
came
talk
from.
to, but I don't think I ever went...
It would have
Well,
never
maybe I
worked
did.
anyway, right?
Alright.
I mean, a superhero dating a henchman? No way. Couldn't work.
Empowered? Was a series where that was a thing? I think the henchmen turned away from their henching duties, however. But they started out that way. So yeah. I tried to avoid cringing. First I get her captured, then I crush her hard in my hands like this. Brutal. But to be honest though, if it makes her harder to interrogate, I owe her the truth at least.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
Even so, I still needed your help, Stan.
To do what? To escape?
But it's not too late. I still need your help. You can still choose the person you want to be.
What if I am? This is it, the moment where she reveals her backup plan. Just like Madame Scorpion said, the strategy works. Now all I have to do is seal the deal. That is, if I still want to. Step close up, right up in front of the vase, staring into her eyes. Even in the darkness of the cell, there's a glint of hope in them, burning bright. What is it she still sees in me?
I don't know. I'm not sure you found the right guy to believe in here.
Stan, you're the only guy. There's no one else I can count on or turn to. But don't just do it for me.
Yeah, I guess Dave wouldn't have been a good guy to go after.
Do it for yourself, Stan. You don't know it now, but you're drowning. And Madame Scorpion's the one pulling you under. Think about that sword she was pointing at your heart. One day, that won't be a threat.
It'll be real, or she'll have actually done it? I mean, both are horrible.
Nah, that's how she is. Come on, she wouldn't really kill me. She likes me.
I don't think that means anything to her.
And you think that would stop her? She's not stable, and the kind of power she's trying to wield, in her hands, it'll be a catastrophe. We're talking global, century-spanning consequences.
Century-spanning?
Help me stop her, Stan. You're the only one who can.
Well, not forming in my stomach as I stare at her bleeding expression. Even when she was staring down Madame Scorpion's sword, she wasn't desperate. Only now. Only in this moment. She wouldn't be looking at me like this if there was anything but my... She wouldn't be looking at me like this if this was anything but my last chance. I have to choose now, forever. Am I with the superhero or the supervillain? Thank you for making this abundantly clear that this is the point of the game where we choose a thing, like it was with the other one. No, I'm liking my Wagyu beef. We're sticking with Scorpion. We'll lighten over and side with Scorpion. I take my time before answering, sighing for effect. Can't respond too quickly. I need to make her think that I'm really wrestling with it.
God damn it. You know what? You're right.
That sounds
She's
corny.
crazy, and she needs to go down.
That's rubbish.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. It's like you said, I'm the only one who can do it.
Me.
Alright, then let's do it. Thank you, Stan. You're doing the right thing. Now, pretend I said something romantic and turn to face me.
Really? Okay. Without hesitation, I comply and immediately find her hand gripping my collar to pull me closer. As she does so, with a second hand move towards one of my pockets.
This beacon will let you call in reinforcements. Just go outside where you have lots of space and a good signal, then activate it.
So we're gonna lead the heroes into a trap.
Come find me after. Promise me that.
Yeah, of course. I promise.
Yeah, I definitely promise. She lets go of my collar, and I stumble backwards, flustered.
Good luck. I'll be waiting. Not like I've got anywhere else to be.
I mean, Lord Bedlam could have you executed before that happens.
Thanks, Kate.
You're welcome, number 065.
Dun dun dun! You remembered my number. I mean, I couldn't remember my number either. I turn to go, but before I go too far, my path is blocked by another figure, barreling his way down the stairs.
Is it over? Did I miss it? Ah, number 065. There you are. Just getting started, are you? Well, not to worry. I, Lord Bedlam, am a master interrogator. Yes, just a few minutes with me, and this so-called hero shall spill all she knows. Now, watch a master at work.
Thank you.
Actually, the interrogation's over. I was just on my way out.
What? Over? But Madame Scorpion said it didn't start until... Did I have the time wrong? Or did she?
Obviously she did. There's nothing that you can do which can be wrong, Lord Bedlam. Supervillain hesitates, scratching thoughtfully at the spot on his helmet where his chin would be.
Number 065. Did the madam say that I'd be joining you in this endeavor?
No.
No. Not that I recall.
No, this can't be right. She wouldn't. No, of course not. I'm sure she just meant to do a follow-up interrogation. Yes, that must be it.
Sure, why not?
You're
I've got
gradually
nothing
getting
to
smaller.
Hey, maybe we could even get a little cross-interrogation going?
Cross-interrogation? As in you questioning me? Lord Bedlam?
Yeah, I'd quite like to know what your aims and goals and why you're doing this, really. I mean, you've said some things, but I'd really like some clarification on it. So, that'd be great to, know more about it. Maybe we'd find sometimes our goals aren't so unaligned and we could, let you go occasionally. Because we know you're working towards a better future.
Yeah, just to explore your feelings a little. Things like, let's say, jealousy?
Jealousy? What would I, the magnificent and freshly scented Lord Bedlam, have to be jealous about?
Yeah, I'm not freshly scented.
Oh, I don't know. But you won't find out until we talk about it.
Well, I suppose not. What's the harm?
No harm as far as I know. Lord Bedlam brushes past me and over, shoots me a wink. Guess that's my cue to go. So, after giving the caged superhero one last look over my shoulder, I head up the stairs.
Did you really leave her alone with him? You're crueler than I imagined, Stanley.
Hey. I exit the cell block. Madam Scorpion is waiting for me, as if she knew exactly when I'd arrive.
I must say, I'm quite impressed. I knew you had it in you, but that looked like it went perfectly.
Yeah, not bad.
The interrogation, or the part where you threatened to kill me?
I mean both.
Oh, don't pout. That was just a stratagem. It's basic superhero psychology. Don't threaten the hero. Threaten someone they care about.
Yep.
And I don't really think you have cause to complain, given the nature of our other little ruse.
What do you mean?
That one was a bit more palatable, I can admit.
No, I mean... You... Sexual assault is sexual assault, no matter how it happens. Yeah? Just because, I understand why you did it and what it was trying to achieve, but you could have asked me beforehand. You're a villain, so you don't care about these things, but still.
But to the matter at hand, did it work? Does she trust you?
Obviously.
Yeah, I think so. In fact...
Pull the beacon out of my pants pocket and hold it out for the supervillain to examine.
She gave me this. Said it's some kind of beacon. All you have to do is activate it and...
Superpowered reinforcements within the hour. Interesting.
If you brought them here, could you bring them to a volcano lair instead? She delicately plucks the device from my hands and holds it up to the light, examining it.
Interesting indeed. You've done well, Stanley.
The fact that it needs to be pressed in order to... in a wide open area. That means it must not be able to get through a lot of stuff. It's not a great communicator then, is it?
So that means I passed the test?
With flying colors. Now you've earned a bit of rest and relaxation, don't you think? Take the rest of the day off.
Okay.
Maybe freshen up a little? You're looking a little disheveled.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to shower this morning. Freshen up. Cautiously, I raise my eye and give it a sniff. Not bad. I guess I didn't shower this morning. Might not be a bad idea.
I'll get right on that, ma'am.
See that you do, Stanley. Now run along. You'll know when you're needed.
Explosions! Smashing! Have I been stabbed in the back? I don't know. Still examining the beacon. Madam Scorpion strides down the hall. No particular hurry, just somehow full of purpose. For a moment, I just watch her leave, exhaling sharply. I was holding my breath around her. Will that stop now that I'm one of her lieutenants? My mind returns to the feeling of her hand teasing its way across my chest as she pulled me into that provocative embrace. I shake my head. No chance. It's never going to stop. As the supervillain disappears around the corner, I head in the direction of the locker rooms. A shower does sound like a good idea. Maybe a cold one. There are only people using the locker room at this time of day, and I take advantage of it, letting the water run down my body well after I scrub myself clean. Well, physically, anyway. Emotionally? That's another thing altogether, lying to Kate like that. Using her concern for my own safety against her? Didn't it take more than lukewarm water and cheap body wash to get rid of that?
Her name's not Kate. It's Shining Nova.
Indeed. Yeah, that's right. She lied to you first, right? Remember? How she was probably still lying in her cell. She doesn't really care about you. It's a show. A big performance. She took you for a sucker, and you flipped the script on her. Don't feel guilty for beating her at her own game. It's like Madam Scorpion said. That moral high ground bullshit is just an excuse. Shining Nova can lie, and she can't complain if I lie right back. Not without being a sore loser. That's how they win. Make us think one set of rules applies to us, but they get a different set entirely. That's how they get their mansions and towers, while I share a shower with 200 other dudes.
Screw that. I just played the hand I was dealt, that's all.
Indeed. Turn the knob on the shower. I stand there for a moment, inhaling deeply. The air in here is as pungent as ever. But I don't care, I feel refreshed. No, reinvigorated. Grab my towel and start to dry off as I leave the showers. I just finished wiping my face when I reached the mirrors. I suddenly stopped staring at my reflection. I feel like it's been a while since I looked at myself. Not in passing, but really looked. I seem a little tired, but you know what? I still look good. Damn good, even. I mean, maybe I'm not superhero shredded, but there's some definition there. And look at that face. Bedlam should put you on the recruitment posters.
You know what, Stan? To hell with it. You are the man.
Don't know if you can hear it. Sure you can. But the music in the background there is just a low-level, ominous sort of thing. You know, showing that you are the villain. Yeah, I am. That's all I can think of as I finish drying myself off and start putting on my uniform. I'm the man. From now on, I'm gonna get mine. Doesn't matter who I have to blow past or go through to get it, whether it's Antonio, Dave, Lord Bedlam, or even Shining Nova. No one's dictating what I can or cannot do to get there anymore.
My, aren't you looking spirited?
Yes? Are you here to kill me? Well, maybe one person.
I'm not sure I've ever seen someone get dressed with such passion, especially to wear something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest thing. She points at my uniform as I finish putting it on, as if the sight offends her. I shrug, suddenly feeling a lot more cheap as she casually leans against the sinks.
Oh, trust me, it's not the uniform. I was just... I don't know. I guess something's just got my adrenaline going. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Oh, trust me, it's not the uniform. I was just... I don't know. I guess something's just got my adrenaline going. Must be all this evil we're doing. The way we're going to enact your plan and rule the world. Yeah, I'm feeling particularly... powerful's not the right word, but... motivated, maybe.
What are you doing here, by the way?
Yeah, why are you in the henchman stuff?
Speaking to you, Stanley. What does it look like?
I don't know. You're confusing me.
I don't know. Maybe we should ask an unbiased observer.
I thought I gestured to my right, intent on making my point by soliciting one of the locker room's other occupants, but stop when I find no one there. I furrow my brow. Look to the left. No one there either.
I'm afraid you won't find a second opinion here. I had everyone else cleared out.
Okay.
I see. How'd you manage that?
I guess you ping them all on their phones to get out?
Stanley, please. When I want something done, it gets done.
Good. With a literal snap of her fingers, I hear the locker room doors shut and lock. I guess we're all alone.
Can't believe I didn't notice. I really was in my own head there.
This is not... Alright, well, we'll see what's happening. This is not where I wanted to go, particularly.
Lost in thought, were you?
More like feeling myself, you know? Just kinda amped up.
As you should be. You did well back there, just like we talked about. Even when you had to improvise.
Yeah, I can improvise with the best of them. Oh, is that what we're calling that? A little improv? And here I thought she was threatening to kill me. Nonetheless, I shrug it off.
Hey, I aim to please.
Please whom, I wonder?
Probably myself? Well, that doesn't sound right. Gracefully, the supervillain removes herself from her perch, thus walking across the room, stalking towards me with slow, slinking strides.
Me?
With each step, the hair on the back of my neck and my pulse quickens. The hair stands on the back of my neck. Alright, I see her fingers dance playfully on the hilt of her sword, and my foot slides back on instinct.
Or yourself.
My ankle hits something metal, and I realize that I'm already standing next to the lockers. No room for retreat, so I stand my ground.
What are you implying?
Only that you can't always serve the whims of others, Stanley. Sometimes you need to do something for you. Because you want it.
Grinning wolfishly, she then takes one more delicate step in my direction, and then bursts forward. Cover my face like that. Okay, fine. I flinch and lean back against the lockers despite myself, startled by the superhuman speed. Still, I fight to maintain eye contact, even if it seems like a losing battle.
Don't be bashful. We both know that's for show. Admit it. You've been hoping for a moment like this. Dreaming of it.
Not exactly. Okay. Isn't that obvious? And you actually I haven't. Okay, so despite having... I don't know. Well, I can back out here, so... Yeah, this is not where I wanted this. I didn't realise there were this sort of things in the game when I got it. I thought it was, hey, we're going to be a henchman, you're going to, maybe you'll screw over your boss and get to the top. I wasn't looking for this. And when I say screw over, I don't mean, you know what I mean. So, actually, I haven't. It's not what I've been wanting here. I mean, it's been vaguely flirtatious with you, but it's been very threatening as well. I mean, hopefully I don't die because of this. So yeah, actually, I haven't.
Actually, I haven't.
She hesitates. You can feel her whole body flinch and stiffen, as if she just received a paper cut.
You haven't? Not at all?
No?
Not in the way you want.
Straighten my posture, standing tall, even as she stares right through my flesh and bones, burrowing into my brain. I see her searching my expression, comparing it to the databanks inside her head, looking for a lie. Smile fooled us. She found none.
You're quite certain?
I am.
That was a very well forced line there. You're quite certain?
Well then. I suppose that's all there is to it.
Yeah. Graceful, but without ceremony, Scorpion pulls back and steps away, completely removing herself from my personal space. I blink in surprise. It seems too clean. Too sudden.
You're not going to convince me to reconsider?
Don't be crass. You've made your decision, and I'll respect it.
Thanks for, respecting my decision.
That's, thank you? I admit, I thought you'd be more upset with me.
Quite the contrary. Not mincing words about what you don't want is sometimes more impressive than the opposite. And I have no interest in a paramour who doesn't want me back.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should have somebody who wants them for them, and not for their idealized version of them, or who just wants them.
The last thing I need or desire is for someone to take me as a lover out of a sense of obligation. So wipe that guilty look off of your face before it makes me nauseous. Understood?
Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Pull my back from the wall and straighten my posture, working as hard as I can to maintain a stoic expression. The supervillain nods in approval.
Good. Then all that leaves is the other reason I'm here.
Okay. She gestures to my uniform.
You may wear that for now if you wish, but when you return to your quarters, you'll find a new uniform waiting for you.
Black and red?
I suggest you try it on tonight. We have a busy day tomorrow, and there are some new features that you'll need to adjust to.
New features? Sounds either ominous or fun. As usual with Madam Scorpion. Can't decide which.
I'll be sure to give it a spin, ma'am.
She nods in approval and turns toward the exit, which unlocks with a snap of her fingers. However, she pauses at the precipice.
Oh, and Stanley? This new confidence of yours, it's an asset. try to maintain it?
Will do. As a supervillain departs, I let out a sigh of relief. Well, that was an experience. I'm glad she took it well. I mean, excuse me. I mean, if I had pursued romance, would they have still said that thing? I sincerely hope not. In fact, he said, if she felt any pain at all about being turned down, she kept a tight lid on it. I suppose that's to be expected. That would have been a simple plaything for her anyways. She'll find another.
God damn, this day. Thank God it's almost over.
And yet, I have a feeling that tomorrow might be even crazier. So there's another issue? Okay. Maybe there's 10 issues. Oh, issue 8, The Die Is Cast. That was still issue 7. Alright, okay. I think this is where we're going to leave it for today. Yeah, seems like a good idea. Before we go, let's have a quick look at, yes, see what new things we unlocked in the extras. Is that the... That is the locker room. Okay, but look at all these other ones that we missed out on. And there's a whole page over here, and look, I guess these must be endings. There can't be that many endings, can there? Oh, maybe there are. Miss Dynamo. Miss Dynamo in action. Scorpion's action theme. Shining Nova. Different thing, that's great. Is that Dave action? No, that's Dave. Rising tension. Anti-Scorpion's romance scene, don't care. Chef Antonio. Yeah, general action theme. Pow. Alright, well, there's a lot of exciting things there, but, as I say, that is where we are going to leave it for today. Yes. We'll be back tomorrow. Won't that be fun? We'll be doing some Returnal, and we'll set up a backup game as well. A nice relaxing one, so that when I do get frustrated at it, I can just go, time for something nice and calm. If I get frustrated at it, not when. If. Yeah? But before that, let me say thank you to you out there, he said, doing a lot of gesturing and pointing. You're amazing, and I really appreciate the fact that you have spent any sort of time here with me, whether live and in person or later on the VOD. It doesn't matter. You are appreciated just as much either way. As I say, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back at regular time tomorrow, and not the stupid early time that was there today. What with times changing and everything else, it just seemed easier to get it in, slightly earlier. But until the next time that I see you, I have been Richard, and this whole thing around us has been LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels. And you, have fun, and stay weird.